Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And yes, it is Saturday. And if I'm on Saturday, almost always that means the same thing, AMA. So yes, I'll be much more open with taking people's comments and questions as I usually am. Of course, if you want to move to the front, I'm always happy to take super chats. I will begin this. I knew what I want to talk about today. Usually I don't know what I want to talk about. This time I knew. I knew what I want to talk about. The problem was I could probably spend the entire show on what I want to talk about, and then there'd be no time for AMA. So I thought I got to kind of mix this up, and I didn't know which piece to bring up. Which piece to bring up on this idea. And what's the idea? The idea of this jobs report and how important this is or isn't, and why is Trump doing what he's doing? All those things, right? I want to bring up all those things. So I'm going to do a simple one. I got a Fox News one, which is obviously going to be pro-Trump. And then I got another one. It's the Bulwark, which is obviously anti-Trump. So I had one of each. I didn't know which one to use. I had a middle one, too, which one I was going to use. So I think I'm going to start with the pro-Trump. It's a shorter one. And then we'll move on from there. No. The anti-Trump one's funner. So I think I may go with the anti-Trump one. Yeah, I'm going to go with the anti-Trump one first. And we'll see how that works. And you'll see what I mean, why this does matter. And by the way, it does matter. Don't think it doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter for the reasons you think, because I tend to come up with ideas you guys hadn't thought of because I'm insane. But that isn't the point. The point is, it should be something kind of interesting. Here we go. All right, let me go ahead.
Here with our publisher, Sarah Longwell, we've got some breaking news. Trump has apparently, via social media, just announced that he is firing the Commissioner of Labor Statistics because the job numbers are so bad.
Now, that's the key aspect. That is the key aspect. Yes, he fired her. Now, this guy obviously says because the numbers are so bad. Well, is it because the numbers are so bad? Yes. It is. Now, he won't tell you that. Trump won't tell you that. Trump's like, well, because she's a Biden person. That's what Trump will say. She's a Biden person. And that's why she's been a Biden person, I guess. And you put her in there and JD Vance voted for her. So I don't know what you're talking about. So I don't know. She was fine in April. She was awesome. Now she's not. Yeah, that's the biggest issue here. That's the biggest problem that I have here. The biggest problem I have with this is that not that whether Trump likes the numbers or not. That isn't the biggest piece. The biggest piece is he literally fired her. That's terrible. What does that tell everybody? Yes, that is terrible and embarrassing and horrible. Whether you believe the numbers or not, I don't care. Firing her is the horrible part, that everyone just sat there is going to take that, and they're going to take it.
That's how bad the job numbers are this month. Me and Sarah are going to get into the details of that jobs report, but we got to at least start with this breaking news. This literally just sent to me right before we started taping. Here it is, Donald Trump's bleat. I was just informed that our country's jobs numbers, in quotes, so I guess giving scare quotes to government statistics now, are being produced by Biden appointee, Dr. Erica McIntyre. Sorry if I mispronounced that. The Commissioner of Labor Statistics, who faked the jobs numbers before the election to try and boost Kamala's chances of victory. Then a bunch of blah, blah, blah. He writes, we need accurate jobs numbers. I've directed my team to fire this Biden political appointee immediately. She'll be replaced with someone much more competent and qualified. Oh, I'm sure. Important numbers like this must be fair and accurate. The current jobs report said there were only 73,000 jobs added. He writes, a shock. And then he writes, but more importantly, that a major mistake was made and they revised.
So they've been revising shit for years. They revise stuff all the time. That's the norm. So my question is, okay, why didn't you fire her in April? Why didn't you fire her in January? Why didn't you make this change during Trump 1? Right? During the same shit was happening during your first term. Why didn't you fire him then? Why didn't you step up when Biden was president and go, this has got to stop, this has got to end? Because you didn't care. Because you didn't care. This is terrible that he would do this openly and then blatantly lie and go, oh, it's because she's bad. No. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. I mean, it does. I'll cover that in a second. But the first piece is it doesn't matter if this is accurate or not. It's the same as it's always been. That's the point. If it's inaccurate now, it was inaccurate in April, and it was inaccurate in January, and it was inaccurate last year, and it was inaccurate when he was the president before. So if it's inaccurate now, it's always been inaccurate. And here's the issue. As long as it is being calculated the same way, assuming that's true, I don't know that. So for the sake of my argument, it's being calculated the same way. If it's not, I'll take this back. But my assumption for this is that it's being calculated the same way. Then the trends are still valid. Even though the numbers may be wrong, the trends are still valid because it's being calculated the same way. So if it's going up, that means things are going up. If it's going down, things are going down, even though the actual numbers may be inaccurate. Again, assuming that it's being calculated the same way. He doesn't say that. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. He is firing her because how dare you? That's why he's firing her. Because how dare you? Shameful act by the president. Horrible act by the president. Terrible. If you don't like it, say, these are crappy numbers. We're going to look into it. Whatever. Do the same garbage they all do, right? Oh, it's because this. Send your people out and talk trash. Whatever, right? Do all that. Go ahead. Do all that stuff. Whatever. Do the things you're supposed to do. But don't do that. Mike says, is this the person responsible for false numbers for year into Biden, helping Dems in midterms? No, it isn't. That's cope. You coping, Mike. You coping. Whether it's that, whether it was her or not, whether it was someone else or not, the system's the same system. The system's the same system. Doesn't matter. If it was bogus then, why didn't he say something then and have her fired right away? If you're right, and this person is helping the Dems. I mean, they're not. That's just cope shit Republicans say. But let's say it's true. And they were just helping the Dems out. Okay. Why didn't he fire her in January when he came aboard? If that's so true. Because it's bullshit. That's why, Mike. He'd have fired her then. Why didn't his people? If you think for a second that Stephen Miller, who's sniffing up the ass of every single person he can possibly sniff who is anti-Trump, if he didn't know that, he'd have fired her right then and there. You think Laura Loomer wouldn't have got rid of her in January? Bullshit, cope. None of that's true, Mike. Not true. Even if she is that bad person, and maybe she's some Democratic operative. It's possible. Maybe. I mean, I don't know that. So then why didn't you fire her in January? Because you didn't care. Why didn't you fire her in April? Because you didn't care. That's why. That's some cope shit, man. It's not true. This is because he's mad. He doesn't like the numbers. This is because he's mad. He doesn't like the numbers. This is a bullshit move by Trump. And I get you don't like the numbers. If I was President Trump, I wouldn't like him either. I'm not mad at him for not liking the numbers. I get it. If I was him, I wouldn't like them either. But then do what he always does. Put out a tweet and explain why. Send your guys out and talk your trash, as they all do. Okay, I get it. You're not just going to go, yep, I suck. That's not going to happen. Okay. Firing is a bridge too far. And I often say when Trump goes too far. And some of you guys who love Trump don't like it when I tell you that he went too far. He went too far. This is unacceptable. He should not have done this. This is a shitty move. He should not have done it. You don't like it. Don't like it. I get it. And you bring your people out to explain why it's wrong or whatever, right? So great. And look, here's the worst part. The reality of it is people who love Trump will listen to whatever his people say anyway, right? If you love Trump and this guy comes on and goes, no, it's this or it's that, you'll believe it because you love Trump. Okay. You don't have to fire her. It's not even required. Your people will still love you. It's just fine. They just want an excuse. They want to hear you tell them why. And if Trump just would have come out and said, here's the reason, it's because I have magic powers, whatever. They'd be like, okay, you have magic powers. Fine. I accept it. That would have happened. Firing was a bridge too far. What does that firing do? It tells everybody clear as day. Clear as day. Don't you dare give him bad news. Don't you dare give him bad news. Clear as day. Now, that was true before already. That was true. But now it's crystal clear. Don't you dare. Don't even be next to him and give him bad news. Because I'm going to insult you. And if I can get rid of you, I'm getting rid of you. I'm going to get rid of you. Russ says, not a fan of 47, but this lady was hard at her job. Should have been fired in January as she was off by 2 standard deviations for 2 years. Thank you. This is my point, Russ. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying Mike's wrong. Yeah, she's crappy. Got it. To your point, then fire her in January. Here's the point, Russ. He didn't care. That's you're showing how I'm right. She's bad. Got it. Get rid of her. Understood. Biden should have got rid of her. Then, well, Biden didn't know what he was doing. So, I mean, I don't know. Whoever before. Yeah, anyway. Someone should have got rid of her. Whatever. And then he should have got rid of her in January. And if what you just said is true, then why didn't he just say that? What you just said. Just say that out loud. Here, look. She was 2 standard deviations off for 2 years. This is her last chance. She's terrible. We can't trust her. He could have smeared her easily. I mean, he's the smear master. Smear her easily and then set her up to quit or resign. There were so many other ways of doing this. So again, Russ, I believe you. But those know Russ Clark is brilliant. If he says this, I believe him. If he says it, I believe it. I'm sure it's true. It doesn't change my point at all. So, yeah. Joel says, I don't agree with nobody should be fired. A lot of them need to get fired. Yes, but why now? And why here? And why this way? That's what's wrong with this. This is showing, don't you dare say something I don't like. That's what this is showing. I'm not saying Russ is wrong. If he says she's crappy, I trust Russ. I've known Russ for years. I trust him. She sucks. I know Mike for years. He says she sucks. She sucks. I'm not saying she doesn't. You're not hearing me defend her. I don't know if she's good. I have no clue if she's good. I believe you two guys tell me she sucks. She sucks. Great. Why wasn't she fired in January? I understand why Biden didn't fire her. He didn't know what planet he was on. Okay, I get that. So Biden's not going to fire her. He doesn't know what planet he's on. Steve Miller? Trump? J.D. Vance? He voted for her. None of them? Yeah, because they don't care until now. That's the problem. They didn't care until now. Lunatic in the House, political theater. True. Thank you. You get it. This isn't about her sucking. Clearly, she does suck. But this isn't about that. This is political theater. Exactly correct. And that's why I'm so bothered by this. That's why I'm so bothered by this.
258,000 jobs downward in the prior 2 months. He goes on to let you know that the economy is booming, all caps, under Trump. And then on the way out, he throws a quick shiv at Jerome Powell, writing, Jerome, quote, too late, Powell should also be put, quote, out to pasture.
See, he's already smashing Powell. He's out to pasture. That's his thing. That's his shtick. That's his shtick. That's his thing. So why don't you do that to her? Call her whatever. I don't know what her name is. Whatever. Jane Smith. Jane can't count Smith. Whatever. Right? Call her that. Insult her as he does. Make her feel terrible as he does. Beat up people as he does. And then say how terrible she is. And then whatever. Right? That was doable. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. And that again is my problem. Let me keep going for a little bit longer if I could.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. Wow. A lot there, Sarah. Take it whichever place you'd like to go.
All right. First of all, I just want people to understand, like, this is genuinely nuts. Here's
True.
what he's doing.
She's right. And
I
don't like her.
Firing the head of the.
Let's be clear. I don't like either of these guys. They are blatant, obvious partisans. It's not even close. They are Trump evil, no matter what. That's who these people are. And they are Democrats correct, no matter what. And they're right. I'm just saying that. They are those things, and they are correct.
Bureau of Labor Statistics, because he doesn't like that they are reporting on the statistics about the bad job he's doing on the economy, right?
True.
So he has made choices the labor market has slowed in a very serious way. And two things are in this job report that are kind of gobsmacking. So the
Yes,
first
this piece too.
is how much they missed for the month of July, what they had hoped, right? The estimate had been that they would add about 110, 115,000 jobs. Instead, it was 73,000. That's a
Huge
big
difference.
miss, way lower than they were hoping. But even worse, the biggest thing that happened is then they went back to June and May and they revised the number of jobs down.
Now why this matters. One, clearly Russ and Mike are correct. These people are incompetent. I get it. You're right. No argument there. But now as they're fixing it, the economy's not great. Now, no, Trump's going to go, oh, it's awesome because X, Y, and Z. If we're not growing jobs, the economy's not great. Let me repeat that. If we're not growing jobs like we're supposed to be growing jobs, the economy is not great. Now you might go, but the stock market. Okay, maybe the stock market's wonderful. I'm not against the stock market being great, but that doesn't mean that the average American can pay their bills. Jobs have to be going up in some way, shape, or form, and they're going up a lot. We have to keep creating lots of old jobs, and we'd have more people being part of the economy. The problem is our economic participation rate is very low insanely low, like 60 some odd percent. That means a whole lot of Americans are checking out. I told you already that 7 million men have checked out, plus women are checking out now, and women are getting slaughtered in all these job layoffs that are happening in AI. They're more women than men. So men already voluntarily checked out. They're like, we're out. We're not doing anything. We're going to sit around and play video games all day. They're already out, right? And now the women are getting thrown out. The men chose to go leave, and the women are getting thrown out. This is not great.
By almost 250,000, which meant that in those 2 months when the Bureau of Labor Statistics came out with their jobs reports, they had wildly overestimated them. Now, here's the thing we don't know. We don't know why that happened.
Well, because they sucked. I think Russ and Mike are correct. Because they suck. But again, they've sucked for years. They always make mistakes. Like, this is the norm. Like, I'm just being clear. This is the norm. That's how it works.
That is a mystery, but
it's not a mystery.
They were putting a much more favorable sheen
now, the
on
problem the reason why she can't just say they suck is, again, because these guys are establishment Democrats and the system is always good. Establishment's always correct. Bureaucracy is always right. So her ideology blinds her from the obvious answer. But the answer is obvious. Russ and Mike are correct.
Slowing economy. And so people are looking at those job numbers from May and June and saying, these are pretty good. This is pretty steady, good growth, on track for what they were anticipating. But no, they've revised them way down. Okay, so if the labor market is slowing, it is likely because of the tariffs, because of inflation, because of a bunch of policies of.
Now, this part is also important, right? And you're going to hear this again and again. The tariffs. Is it the tariffs? I don't think it's the tariffs yet, to be forward with you. I don't think what I think it is, and a big part of this, obviously. I mean, it's lots of things. But one of it is, it's still the uncertainty. I'm going to go back to what Trump, this is a Trump screwing up show. Sorry, guys, you Trump lovers. This is a Trump screwing up show. Trump has been screwing up in his communication for years now. His communication has been crappy for years. He did not communicate the tariffs well at all to us Americans, did not communicate it well at all. He did not communicate what was going to happen at all, didn't communicate the wars well, didn't communicate any of this stuff well to us. None. He basically was like, trust me, bro. Trump basically said, trust me, bro, for all this stuff. And then it was 90 days, and he gives another 10 days, another 70 days, another this days. His communication has been garbage. And because of that, everybody's concerned and worried. CEOs are concerned and worried. Business owners are concerned and worried. Why? Not because tariffs or not. That actually isn't the reason. People go, tariffs are bad. I don't like tariffs either, but that isn't the reason. The reason is uncertainty. What business owners hate more than anything else, they hate lots of things. But what they hate more than anything else is uncertainty, because they can't plan. Now, if they know they're going to hit with a tax, they hate it, but they can plan for it. They're going to hit by this. They hate it, but they can plan for it. When they have this type of uncertainty, they don't like it. They can't stand it.
Donald Trump's own making, the uncertainty around the tariffs.
She's right.
And So he's firing this person just for reporting the statistics accurately.
I hate to say it, she is correct. This is another self-inflicted wound by Trump. He is gambling so hard. I am surprised on how hard he's gambling because he is doing it himself. Again, he could have just walked away and had his people come out and said something, but he's got to say something constantly. This was back in 2020 when he lost the election, and all the New Yorkers who I knew who want to vote for him kept saying things like, I wish he'd just take his phone away. I wish they didn't like him being on his phone. They didn't like it. It made them feel weird, made them feel awkward. They didn't like him. By 2024, they had forgotten about that. They didn't care anymore. They're like, we don't want Biden. We'll take the tweets. He's doing it again. Someone take his phone away.
That's it. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I want to go deep with you on the actual jobs numbers in a second, but let's just stick on this firing for 1 second. Also, again, always Trump lives in these gray areas where he totally breaks the norms, and he does things that gives his people a talking point that they can talk about, right? The idea this is a Biden appointee. You can understand how people might think, well, okay, new administrations should be able to get their appointees in various jobs throughout the administration. But
yeah, Kim says if he can keep his mouth shut, he might make a real president. True. Yes. But the problem is you can't tell him to shut up because he'll fire you. That's the problem. That's what he just said. Somebody should be in front of him going, Mr. President, give me the phone. Stop. What's wrong with you? I'm taking your phone. Someone should do that. But he's fired if he does that. She just fired. I'm telling you, the only one who can do it is Ivanka. And she's not there. Ivanka could probably smack her dad and give me that phone. What's wrong with you? She could probably do that. No one else can. That's the problem. If they just took the phone, you're right. Kim says, I'll do that job. I would too. I would so do that. He fired me, but I would still do that job. Give me the phone, Mr. What's wrong with you? Stop. Absolutely. I would do that job. I totally would. Let me look. I'm looking over at Instagram. Michael says, AMA. That's amazing, Larry. Thank you. I appreciate that. Eddie says, authoritarians gonna authoritate. You're not wrong, Eddie. He can't stop himself, can he? He can't stop. He just can't. He can't stop. It's bad. I know. He probably should stop, but he can't. So yeah. Anyway. All righty. GJD over on Rumble says, hey, Larry, are you forgetting that our current administration is just to continuation of a reality show with a tagline, which you're fired? You're not wrong. I mean, look, he made his bones that way. You're not wrong. But I would like him to stop that and not do that and instead try to act to be successful for our country. I am feeling Biden again. Let me tell you what I mean. When Biden was elected, for those of you who remember, I had hoped that he would do well. I wanted Biden to do well. I wanted the country to do well. I did. And then I started to watch how, that's not going to happen. I'm starting to get worried about Trump now too. And when he got elected, you saw me. I hope he does well. I want the country to do well. I don't want presidents to fail because then we fail. I would like presidents to succeed so we can succeed. That is what I would like. I'm getting worried that I'm seeing Biden 2 happen. I'm getting worried. That's all I'm saying. Peace, laws. Thank you for the $1. New law: Elon and Trump ban on the phone. Flip phone for those two. LOL. No, I'm in. Yes, do that. Yes. I'm using non-authoritarian in this case. Yes. 100%. Yeah. It's nutty. All right, a little bit more of this. I'm gonna go to the other one if I can.
That is not what's happening here. It's not like Trump came in and said, okay, across a number of these agencies, they're Biden appointees, they're political appointees, we want to replace them with Trump people. Okay.
Yes. And again, I wouldn't have been mad at that. This guy is absolutely a political lefty hack, no doubt. And he is correct. If you're going to come in, jump in, fire the people who, you're the new administration. Happens all the time. Come in, fire the people who are bad, put the good ones in. Oh, the ones you want in, whatever. That happens. That's the way things work. Nobody's going to be shocked by that. Do that. It's fine. He didn't. Because he didn't care. That's my entire point. He didn't care.
That's not what he did. What he did, as you said, is he is targeting a single person, firing them
Yep.
because they reported the truth.
Yes.
Like, that's where we're at. Like,
Right.
he is firing a government employee for accurately providing data to the.
Well, but that's not true. She's bad. But again, remember, these guys are hacks. They believe in the establishment completely. Everything that is bureaucracy is correct by default. That's how they think. So that part's garbage.
The American people. Like, this sort of data is important for, a variety of different things. It's important
No, it isn't.
for the Fed. We'll get to Jerome Powell in a second as they decide what to do with interest rates. It's important. It's similar to what we're seeing with the National Weather Service. And we have a lot of worries about this down in the Gulf Coast right now about, like, are we going to be getting as accurate hurricane warnings as we used to because they fired a bunch of people? So, like,
now that piece could be a problem. I mean, he's stretching, but that concept could be true, right? One of the reasons why you find so many things failing is because people are scared to say the truth. Now, I think he's exaggerating with, like, hurricanes. I think it's exaggeration, but I get the point. I do. Lunatic, thank you for being a member, my friend. Give Trump and Elon their phones 24/7. We might get some truth by accident. I don't know. This is just OBS, in my opinion. Fire them all. Yeah, valid point. Maybe. I don't know if we might, but yeah, if we got to, it would be by accident. You're right. By accident, we might get some. Yes, that's true. The problem is, as I always say, if you fire them, I get it. I'm not mad. Fire them all. I'm with you, but let's find an answer. That's all I'm saying. Let's just find an answer.
It matters that we can trust our federal government to put out data.
See, this the status in
that is reliable.
All right, maybe
and what
I'm
Donald Trump has done by firing this woman for putting out reliable info is he's basically saying, yeah, you can't trust the federal government.
Okay, that's not what he's saying. See, he threw this his leftiness just went through. That's not what he's saying. What Trump's saying is, don't give me information I don't like. But again, this guy, he's a total establishment statist. The government's always right. Believe the government always. Please don't believe the government. Please don't. He's full of shit. Don't listen to him. In the case of it being bad, Trump fired him. True. His reason, not true.
Like,
that's not.
We are essentially 1980s Moscow, like around Chernobyl, and like people are gonna put out.
We've been that way forever.
Whatever necessary to keep me happy. And so even if he does replace this person with a serious right-wing person, which who the hell knows, right? How could you even try, right? Like, it brings into doubt the future data that's coming out of
we've always out of data that is
this administration, because it's like, well, okay, clearly they're gonna.
All right, I'm gonna move past this. I don't want to hear him lather anymore. But anyway, you guys get my point. Let me now, if I could, head over. This is the opposite side, the pro-Trumpers. I want to do both. This is a little bit of Fox News talking about the issue. And obviously Fox is going to be pro-Trump, the exact opposite. Just so you get, we're going to be fair, both sides. Be fair.
Right. All right, but it is Saturday and we have news. President Trump now moving to fire the labor stats chief following a much weaker than expected July jobs report and revised numbers from previous months.
Madeline Rivera is live in Washington with the details. Madeline.
Hi, good morning. The president railed against the former commissioner of labor statistics, Erica McIntyre, after seeing these numbers. The BLS reported the U.S. only added 73,000 jobs in July.
73,000 jobs is terrible.
And it sharply revised its figures for the preceding month, saying only 14,000 jobs were created in June and
only 14,000 in June.
19,000 in May.
That's 19,000 in May. That's not a good economy.
It's more than 250,000 lower than what the agency had originally estimated.
And again, even if you're going to tell me the numbers are bad, okay, it's not put together the right way, whatever. Okay. All right. Maybe you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. Maybe it's true, but it's still bad, right? You can still see it.
The unemployment rate also ticked up from 4.1% in June to 4.2% last month. The president saying on Truth Social, McIntyre will be replaced with someone much more competent and qualified.
Don't believe that at all.
Important numbers like this must be fair and accurate.
Now you care.
McIntyre was
when the numbers were good. You remember that? Was it April? The numbers were good. Trump was like, "These are the best numbers ever, best anyone's ever seen. These numbers are great." Numbers were great then. He said that. That was him. There's actually documents. There's actually video of him saying how great the number. He loved her then. And those numbers were real and important then. Now they're not. That's because he's full of shit.
Nominated by former President Biden in July 2023, she was confirmed by the Senate 88-8. Vice President J.D. Vance voted for her. The job survey is based on information from thousands of employers nationwide. The agency asks them things like how many workers are on their payrolls and how many hours they worked. They revise the numbers after evaluating information that may not have been available to them at the time. Still, National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassid is doubling down.
You could look, and this guy. This is what Trump's supposed to send this guy out to go get. I know I've been this guy. Some of you seen me do this. I've been this guy. Someone has to go out and get beat up by the press when bullshit happens. So you send this guy out to get beat up. You don't fire the person. You send this guy out and he gets beat up.
Look at the numbers and see what's been happening. And basically, the BLS has been revising numbers all over the place in a way that makes it so that I don't think anybody really can trust that the numbers are right, whichever way they're going. And so I think it is.
So now you can't trust anybody because it came in wrong. That's this guy. That's some serious cope. That guy's like, copium. Yeah, a lot of it.
It's a good time for a fresh set of eyes to look at what the heck is going on, because the labor numbers are so important.
Deputy Commissioner William Ostrowski is now serving as the acting BLS commissioner. Charlie, Katie, and Griff.
All right, thanks very much.
Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, Maddie. You know, it is interesting.
And look, to be forward, the guy on the left I know, right? I've actually been on shows with him before. He's a good guy. I like him. But watch him just watch.
And I'm sure that Kevin Hassid is correct that these the numbers that the BLS provides are very important.
Charlie's struggling right now. He is. The other guys are good. They're going to jump on board in a second. But Charlie's struggling right now.
I do feel like the private sector does a good job of providing very, very good information. The one area where
now we're saying it's good information. Now it's good information. See, he didn't know what he's talking about. He's like,
fake news is not accepted is among investors on Wall Street. And so I've always sort of wondered about this. And, the idea that we all saw it over the past several years, every time.
Coping hard. Like coping hard. Boy, is he coping. He is coping hard.
You would have important numbers come out. We would later find out that the BLS had put out phony numbers and that they.
Okay, two parts. One, he just said that they always give out good numbers. So then he changed his mind and goes, we found out later phony numbers. No, not phony numbers. They adjust the numbers. They always adjust the numbers. That's the point. They've been doing it for a very long time. If it was bad this time, it's been bad for years. So Lunatic goes on, thank you for $10. Our system needs a true reset. True. But that's too hard for most humans. Also true. We like routine by design. Restarting has held humanity back. Most lack the ability to handle strife and struggle. Quitters. What we need, to be forward with you, is more leaders, right? There's a percentage, right, that we need. We just need a percentage. We don't need everyone to feel this way at all. We need, I don't know, what's that saying? I don't know if it's accurate, but I remember people talk about it, the idea of it was 3% of the people in the colonies who were prepared to fight for revolution, and that was all it took. I don't know if that number's true, but that's the story they tell. Whatever that number is, right? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? We just need that percentage of people who are leaders. Dude, we're not even at 1%. We're not there. We're not at 1%. If we just got whatever that 10%, we don't need everybody. We get 10%, whatever that number is, we get that number, 3% for the sake of argument. We get that number of people who are ready to do something, who are ready to fight if need be. The rest follow. We need leadership. That's the piece. That's the most important piece. I'm trying here. Michael says Copenhagen-das. True. Absolutely true. Yes. Absolutely true.
It always had to be revised. And every time, kind of like a lot of things in politics, they always had to be revised in the same direction.
Yes, every time. Therefore, they're not false numbers. They're just initial numbers, which will be revised, which have, if you don't like it, no worries, but it's been that way for years.
Weird.
It's so strange how that works.
It's so weird. It's so weird. It sounds like that woman from Snow White. Weird. That's them right now.
Interesting.
It's such a great point, Charlie. So in August of 2024, this same BLS chief, McIntyre, revised the jobs numbers by 818,000. 800,000. And you're right. It comes from the survey. And look.
So, okay, I'm not okay. She's bad. So you knew that then, right? Why didn't you fire her as soon as she came aboard? I get why Biden didn't. I understand. He didn't know what plan he was on. I'm okay. I can not that it was correct, but there's logic in that. Biden didn't know what planet he was on. So of course he couldn't have fired her. Got that. Fair. Okay. Now Trump comes aboard. In April, Trump thought she was the greatest thing in the world. Thought she was wonderful. Oh, now you don't. Yeah, it's all BS.
The markets took notice of the lackluster job report, and the president did, obviously, by reacting to this chief. But let's look at Trumponomics, the Trump economy. You can see, if you go by the numbers, inflation 2.7%, wages up 3.9%, the U.S. economy growing 3% in quarter two, unemployment rate ticked up 0.1.
Unemployment is up. And here's the worst part. Underemployment is horrible. This economy is not a great economy. If you think it is, you're not paying attention. It's not a great economy. Massive layoffs everywhere. Massive layoffs everywhere. Yes. William says, so does Trump know what planet he's on? Yes, which is why it's worse. Yes, which is why it's worse. Yes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not thinking about Biden's responsibility. Biden's responsible for every single piece of garbage that happened during his time. He's responsible for it. I'm just saying I understand why he didn't do it. It doesn't make it correct. I am not excusing. I am explaining. There's a difference, right? So if someone says, why did you kill your wife? Well, she cheated on me. Okay, you're still guilty of murder. It's still terrible. Go to jail. But now I understand why you did it. I've explained why you did the thing. You're still guilty of it. You still should go to jail and be punished. 100%. I'm not, making Biden, innocent. He is still responsible. I'm just saying he didn't know what he was doing, so he wouldn't do anything. So why would he, right? That's all. The people around Biden were doing things. He wasn't doing anything. So anyway, that's my point. Trump can't stop doing stuff. There's a lot of people wish Trump would just stop doing stuff, because then he's doing this stuff, which is on his damn phone all the time. So anyway, the part they bring up, he's trying to act like this is good stuff.
1%
manufacturing out. Here's what he's doing with this. He's now picking numbers that he likes and bringing them up. Inflation is down. That's true, but it was horrible. So he's not wrong. Inflation is down. Wait till about 3 months from now. See if that's still true. We'll see if that's still true. I'm not sure it will be true or not. Wages in general are up, but actual unemployment is up. That's the problem. Unemployment is up. That's the problem. And underemployment is huge. Underemployment is probably somewhere around 30% now. That's horrible. That is horrible.
Output up nearly 2%, and that tariff revenue, $150 billion. And I think what's interesting is, listen, the markets took notice, the White House took notice, and there is certainly tariff uncertainty. You can't blame CEOs for maybe sitting on the sidelines to see how.
See, both sides say the same thing. Both sides, left and right, say the same thing, because this is demonstrably true. The worst part of Trump's tariffs aren't the tariffs. The worst part about his tariffs are his absolute garbage communication on them. And I've been saying this forever. His communication on the tariffs are worse than the tariffs. Because again, if you're gonna tariff somebody, that sucks, but at least then know what to do with it. How's it gonna work? We've been sitting here not knowing what the hell the tariffs are for 4 months now, 5 months. Is that about right? 4 or 5 months? April, right? So April to August. So four months not knowing what's up. 4 months. And now he's changing it and shifting it. He told us, remember, 90 deals in 90 days. That's what he said. That was bullshit. His communication has been garbage. And that is why he's having so much. This is all self-inflicted wounds. Garbage. And one of the reasons why is what you just saw. Because someone who would tell him, Mr. President, don't say that stupid shit, will get fired. So no one can tell him to stop. He is shooting himself in the foot. I'm not the only guy on the planet who figured this out. I wish I was that smart. There's people around him who are like, this is bad. He should stop saying stuff. They can't tell him because they'll be gone. They'll be gone. When you are a leader, you have to make sure you have people around you who can look at you in the eye and go, dude, what are you doing? Stop. What are you doing? What are you doing? You have a team you want to listen to. How many times have you guys heard me say, I'm doing something here, I'm doing something there, whatever the case may be, blah, blah, right? I'm this, I'm that. And my team told me to do it because I listen to my team. Yes, that's the issue. And he's not listening. He's not. I know someone's like, dude, don't say 90 days. You can't. And I said it then. You can't get 90 deals done in 90 days. You just, if you remember what I said, if he actually gets 90 deals done in 90 days, then it was all prepared and he was ready to go. Remember that? I did say that back in April. I said, I'm going to give him 90 days. Because if it's true, this is what happened. It wasn't true. He didn't have it all done. And what happened? Doesn't have them all done. Now, I'm not saying his deals are bad. He's got some good deals going out there. There's some good deals. He's actually making some good deals. That's true. He's making some good deals. But his communication, garbage. Again, I know I keep saying it, but it's true. And if you're going to be in politics, if you're going to be doing this stuff, you need to make sure that you communicate well. But this goes to the next piece. Here's my other thing I'm concerned about. If he's not listening to his people, I'm sorry, if his people can't tell him the truth about communicating, are they not going to tell him the truth about Ukraine or Israel or the economy? Are they not going to do that? That's my concern. That is my concern. Is that also true?
It impacts them. But if you nerd out and go back to Wednesday, where I was at the White House and the GDP numbers came out.
GDP is garbage. That's garbage too. And I've been saying GDP is garbage for a long time. And why is GDP garbage? GDP's been garbage for a long time. It has been garbage for a long. People are now finally showing how GDP is garbage. Because GDP, going by GDP, like Mississippi is more prosperous than like Germany. I mean, it's insanely stupid. I mean, GDP is useless. Why? So for you to know, because GDP includes government spending. That's why it's garbage. If you take out government spending, it might be real. You add government spending, so you can make your GDP big because you just add spend. Ganjan's right there. Government spending is 36% of GDP. Yeah, pull that out and tell me what's there. Pull out government spending, then maybe it's real. Maybe. Yeah, correct. Ganjan, you get it. It's absolute garbage. Anyway, so I wanted to show you guys that one. I thought you might find that interesting. So let me now go to all the comments and questions. I'll start walking down that road if I can. Because I know you guys have some stuff you want to say. This was bugging me. So I had to say something because it was bugging me. But if you want to talk about labor and things like that, there is a place where you can learn a bit about it. And I think you know where that place is. Oh, yes. You knew I'd be talking about civil today because I talk about civil pretty much every day. So, yes, if you want to, there's a piece on here which I thought was interesting, and that is it's an idea of labor issues in the sharing economy. This is from the Federalist Society, and it talks literally about parts of how labor works, things like that, change the nature of work. It's interesting. And this is very recent.
Drivers are demanding more regulations for companies like Uber and Lyft.
The drivers are protesting against their companies, saying Uber is taking advantage of them because no regulations are in place.
Now, here's the issue. The sharing economy means that some of these people are not employees. What does that mean? They're not. Are they taking part in the economy or not? If you're doing Uber Eats and Uber and delivery and all those things, you're not actually an employee. You're actually a contractor. So are you searching for work? Are you unemployed? What if you have a master's degree and now you're an Uber driver? Well, you're underemployed. Yeah, the sharing economy changes all the data. So the data is different now, but it's been different for a while. It's been shifting. We haven't figured out how to do that. Why? Because government doesn't change. So yeah, this is an issue. This is the kind of stuff you will see on civil. This is the kind of stuff that you will talk about on civil. And again, it'll just be people talking about it. It won't be someone saying, this is right because I love Trump, or this is wrong because Orange Man bad. You won't hear that on civil. What you'll hear is people talking back and forth about what they think is important. It is civil, CIVL.com. Pop on there. When you sign up, upper right-hand corner, the green place, click that little green thing right there. Type in the code Larry, Larry, 50% off, which means $25 for the entire year. You get cool things like this, and every single show I show you something cool on civil. And on top of it, my special Wednesday show. Yes, I have a Civil Wednesday show, 7 p.m. Very special show, only on Civil. You have to be part of that too. So win. Civl.com. Code Larry, Larry, 50% off. If you can jump on that, they're a sponsor. I'm part of them. I only have a couple sponsors. Why? Because I believe in them. That's why. I want you talking. I want more conversation. I want more education. Civil is the way. Thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate that. Let me keep moving down this road if I could. I'm going to grab some more comments. I have so many of them. All righty. Mike got a lot to say today. Okay. And also Patty's here too. Patty says, we should all be asking who the private funders are for Trump's new $200 million White House ballroom. What were the promises? And what countries are they from? I got to tell you, Patty, it's going to sound a bit crazy. I don't care. Hear me out before you yell at me. Hear me out. Trump has already done this kind of stuff already. He takes this normally. It's what he does. He took the plane. He did his his Trump coin thing, his bit whatever his cryptocurrency thing was. He took that. He does it already. We've already accepted he's going to openly take bribes. We've already accepted that. That's a thing. This $200 million. That's not for him. I don't mean to be cruel. Nothing for him. Nothing. And at least this one, for the next presidents will get something. The other stuff he puts only in his pocket. The crypto stuff he puts in his pocket. The plane he keeps because it goes to his presidential library, which means he keeps it. So he gets to keep the plane. He gets to keep the crypto money. I care about this? We should have stopped him a long time ago. Forget about that. And we didn't then. So I don't know. I guess in theory you could say let's stop it now. But this is the one thing he's going to get that everyone else can actually use. Stop on the next one. Let him get away with this one. We should have stopped him on the plane, maybe, or made the plane have to stay part of the government afterwards. Something. Either force the plane to stay with the next president, right? Which it doesn't, or I don't know, make them share the crypto stuff or something. This is the one thing that we get to have. Don't stop on this one. It's the wrong one. I know you don't like that, but yeah. All righty. Mike says it's a donation to government, not Trump. That's true, right? Mike is correct here. This part is accurate. It is a donation to. This one is. The other ones were not. So if you're gonna be mad at the other ones, not this one. This one is actually going to the government. Yes. So, all righty. See if I can go down here. Okay. Mike says economy would have been better if Powell, Fed Reserve, cut rates 3 months ago, as he should have. I'm not sure about that piece. I'm not sure. I'm worried that the second we start cutting rates, we start quantitative easing and just throwing more money into the economy again. That's my concern. So yeah, I'm torn on this one, Mike, only because what usually happens is we lower rates and then start throwing cash into the system under quantitative easing, which means printing more money. And so, yeah, I'm torn on this. They're probably going to cut them now, and we'll see if what I'm saying happens, which is the norm. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong, but it's been that way so many times. That's my issue. So, yeah. All right. Kim says, Patty, if we logically look at what AI is literally doing to the jobs on the planet, we should see where the need for humans will be. Yeah, this part, right? The economy's in trouble. And I know people will say it's not. They're wrong. It's in trouble. And it's obviously in trouble for so many reasons. And the biggest one is layoffs. That's the biggest reason. There are many reasons why the economy's in trouble. The biggest one is layoffs. Why does that matter? If people don't have jobs, shit goes south. Period. Everything fails when people don't have jobs. That's the biggest issue. There are many issues. That's number one. Now, why is it happening? It's heavily because of AI. That's not the only reason. That's a big chunk. And I see people still to this day fighting on AI, still fighting on it, mad about it, whatever. You can be mad if you want to. You can be. You cannot like it if you want to. You can. It's not going anywhere. And why? But Larry, we can regulate it. We can't. We're not gonna. Let me tell you why we're not gonna regulate it. Because AI is a weapon system. That's what it is. And you can not like that again if you want. It's still true. It's a weapon system. That's what it is. It's gonna, within the next 3 to 4 years, maybe 5, it's gonna control the battlefield completely, right? And when it does, You don't want to be the second tier power with AI when it controls the battlefield. When literally AI could destroy someone's economy in a matter of 30 days. I'm not joking. AI could destroy the bond market, our bond market in 30 days. If we can't defend against it. AI could rip all our communications with our defensive units in 30 days if we can't defend against it. It's here to stay. It's not being regulated. That's a fantasy. If you think it is, you're fooling yourself. That's not going to happen. There is no way the American government is going to allow that to happen. It is going to be free, and it's going to go out there. It's going to happen. I know you may be mad at it. It's going to. The jobs of today are not going to be replaced by AI. They're going to be replaced by people who know AI. That's the difference. So yes. Lunatic says, Trump is open to bribes. Others were secret liars. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Lunatic, I wish you were wrong. I do. Most of the time, I wish you were wrong. Sadly, most of the time, I wish you were wrong. But you're not. That's utterly true. Yes. And look, it's why sometimes people think I like Trump, because I respect the game. I do. I'm like, yeah. It's why when Adams did it, right? When Adams came aboard, Eric Adams, mayor of New York, he started giving all his friends jobs. I did a whole show on it. He gave his friends jobs. He gave his sister jobs. He gave everybody jobs. And the press went, you're giving all your family jobs. Like, they all do it. What's wrong with you? They all did it. And then he started saying, look at what, Bloomberg did. Look at what de Blasio did. And I was like, he's not wrong. At least he's honest. He's like, yeah, I'm giving my sister a job and my brother too. And he gave like his roommate a job. I'm not joking. That actually happened. Like, my roommate in college, you give him a job. Okay. I'd rather him be honest. I would. I would rather Trump be honest in taking the money than not be. If my choice is secret liar or open bribery, and those are my two choices, I'll take the open bribery. That's all I got. I'll take that one. I'll take it. So yes. All right. Roger says, Larry, missed the entire show. Loud ass passengers. Oh, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. Maybe next time. Maybe not. You can always watch it later if you want to. So thank you for $2, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. Ryan, thank you for $2, says, sometimes we just get the government we deserve. Often. I'm not even going to go sometimes. I'm going to go like usually. I'm going to go usually with that one. Yes. Usually that's true. Alexa, thank you for $1. Alexa, thank you so much. Every bit counts. I appreciate it tremendously. Yes. Lunatics, thank you for $10. The economy is fake when it's headed by a central bank. Accurate. Production-based currency. Is that socialism or actual capitalism? See, there's the issue, right? Could you have a capitalism that has a socialistic aspect to it? Yes, you could. Depends on how you do it. The problem is it doesn't seem to ever work that way. But in theory, I think you could. What do I mean by that? For example, if the vast majority of the companies and organizations that existed were owned by the people who worked in it, that would be a socialistic society, but still based upon trading goods and services and private property. So you still could do it, right? If the agreements between the workers were dictated by the government, which is what almost always happens, that's when you get the crappy socialism of like Russia, the Soviet Union, and communist China. If the agreements between the workers are all done within the private sector, then you could have a capitalism with socialistic pieces to it because the agreements are voluntary within inside it, which is what I would be for. Right? I have no problem with workers owning the means of production. Not at all. It's totally possible. But again, the government has to respect that as private property. It's joint owned property, which is fine. You've all voluntarily made the agreement that we will all own this. Again, voluntarily. It's like putting 2 or 3 people on a lease, having 2 people on the deed to a house. Totally fine. If you want to, up to you. Now, there'll be consequences for that, but that's fine. It's private sector. So you could do it. I think it's possible to have both. The problem is that's not what has been happening. It always winds up being government controls it. So hope that makes sense, at least. The economy is fake when it's headed by a central bank. I don't think the economy is fake. I think, how do I explain this? The economy still exists and it's still real. It's it's the money and the measurement. Maybe that's fake. Maybe that's a better. That's a tough one, Lunatic. Maybe it's the measurement and the money that becomes fake. But we're still trading goods and services, and we can still be trading goods and services, and it still can be private property within an economy headed by a central bank. The question is the measurement system would be fake, and then the store value could also be fake. So maybe that's maybe that. The control systems are BS. I've chosen to stop participating in most. It's hard to do, man, but you're not wrong. It's hard to do. So Ryan says end the F and Fed. Yes. True. Absolutely true. Yes. So thank you for that, guys. All right, let me grab a couple more here. Patty says Kim, Giselle, oh yes, she is now in a low security prison in Texas. I see a offing happening. Maybe. My gut says that she's going to give something away that they want. So they don't want her to go away yet. Maybe after she gives away her thing, whatever she's going to give away, I think that could be it. I think she has to give something up first. So yes. James says, I think it matters because it shows that possibility. I think it shows that possibility shows that Trump isn't as competent as he tries to show he is. Not that any president is, but I think Gary Johnson would have been more honest. Gary Johnson was, in my view, sometimes too damn honest. But it's true. I agree with you. He was just too damn honest. So, yeah. Josh says, I don't see Trump running in 2028. I see 2028 being Rand Paul's moment. I don't see that at all, Josh. Look, I hope you're right. I would love to see Rand Paul run. When it comes to Republicans, he's probably the best Republican. He's the best senator we have. Yes. Yeah. Thomas Massey's the best congressman we have. Rand Paul's the best senator we have. So if I got to pick a senator, I'm picking Rand Paul. Guaranteed. That's the guy I'm picking. If I got to pick one, I'm picking him. So look, I would love that to be true. I don't see it. I don't see the Republican Party ready for Rand Paul at all. I don't see it. I hope you're right. I don't see it. I mean, maybe, look, could it happen? Could it happen if they all have a massive civil uprising in the Republican Party after Trump? I mean, maybe. I think it's a stretch. I can hope, but I think it's a stretch. I'm just being forward. I think it's a stretch. I don't see it. I think it's a stretch. So yeah. All righty. Patty says, I know high schoolers and college kids being told don't go into med or education. These are not future dollar jobs. Go into AI, computer programming, and business. I see future job shortages in med and ed. Not in education. Okay. There'll be a shift. Education is going to be trashed by AI. And I mean trashed. I'm not trying to get mad at teachers. I'm not. I'm just being forward. Many teachers, too many of them, I'll say, are fighting AI. I see it. They're still saying students shouldn't use AI. There was that whole thing about how, was it Harvard? Oh, I forgot. One of those schools who decided they were going to get rid of a kid because one of the kids, I shouldn't say kid, but to me he's a kid, but one of the students, because he was saying how he made an AI program to help people cheat or something like that, and they got rid of him or whatever because he can't use AI. And then the guy started a business and now he's a gazillionaire. So too many teachers are fighting against AI instead of embracing it. And I get why, because it's going to replace a lot of them. Where you would need 10 teachers, you're only going to need 5 now. So there's going to be a culling of teachers. Now, initially, government will never respond quickly because it can't. It doesn't. It's backward. So they're still going to want teachers for a long time. Extra ones, colossal waste of time. Administrators all got to go. But eventually, they're going to trash it. The amount of administrators eventually, whenever this time comes, are just going to be gutted. We're going to lose about 80% of our administrators. And I'm not mad about it. About 80% are going to go away. Why? Because AI will replace them. Teachers, probably 50% gone. Probably 50% gone. They will find a way, AI will find a way to actually deal with special needs kids better than humans. And that will make some of you unhappy, but it's true. It will. It will find a way. I don't know what that way is, and it might take several years, but they will find a way for AI with one teacher to handle several kids with special needs, and each one with different special needs. That AI will figure that out in the next 3 to 5 years. When that happens, why do I require 5 teachers anymore? Right? Now, if I'm in a spot where some of the special needs kids have physical issues, I may need people to help them physically, right? If it's physical, or if the kids get physical, right? If I'm around some kids who may get violent, if that happens, then I may need someone for that, maybe. But that's it. Actual teaching, that's all I'll need. And again, the majority of kids who have special needs are far more harmful to themselves than anybody else. So, but in those special cases, I might need somebody for those special cases. Okay. But yeah, so I wouldn't go into education now either. I agree. I wouldn't go into medical either. Medical already is trashed. The system itself is already bad. American doctors, unless you're in a private system, you don't even want to be there anymore. Most of the doctors that come to us now are all foreign-born doctors because our system is garbage. And so that's going to change too. So I agree. I wouldn't go in either. I wouldn't go into computer programming. That's useless. Go into STEM, learn how to code. Terrible idea. Don't do that. The amount of coders, the coding jobs are already people getting let go left and right. Most of the jobs that are gone are tech jobs and support jobs. So don't do that either. The future is three things. Trades. And it has been for decades. It's why we got all our migrants in, because of that. Trades, number one, right? Trades and other what Mike Rowe would call dirty jobs. That's number one. Number two is in AI, right? You need to be an AI guru in whatever you're doing. If you're not, you are messing up right now. If you want to stay in the workforce, right? That and business. Those are three. Those are three. So AI, yes. Programming, no. Business, yes. Trade / dirty jobs, yes. Any of those three, right? My daughter now is an EMT, dirty job, but she got hired immediately. She's got a job. So yeah, I mean, she got hired right out of school. She's 21 years old. She's already got a job, making more than minimum wage already. Right out of school, done. So yeah, that's the way to do it. I hope that makes sense. I would not go into education if I were you. If you know anybody, I would not do it. I would not go into computer programming. I would not do it. If it's me, again, as always I say, unless you have a plan, going to college is stupid. And I don't care. If you don't have a plan, like I want to be an engineer, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher, I want to do something that requires a degree to do, and I know what I want to do. If you don't know, don't go to college. Wait until you know. Go work, go do something, learn something, start a business, whatever, until you know. Go, no, you know what? I need to get a degree. I need this thing. I have a plan. Then go to college. If you don't have a plan, going to college is literally stupid. It is a bad move. It is going to harm you. I'm not joking. It is going to harm you. It's not going to help you. It's going to put you in a bad mindset. Make you think stupid shit that's not real. And you're going to come out and be completely broken. I see them all the time here. In New York City, I see broken people all the time. I got a college degree and I can't get a job. I know. I've been telling you this for 10 years. Stop. It's useless. I hope that this answers your question, Patty. So let me keep going down here if I can. Alrighty. Michael says, weak jobs reports, green lights, a Fed rate cut. True. I think it probably will happen. I think. Yes. Kim says, I've been in the e-files bottomless rabbit hole. It's sickening. Kim, you are correct. I don't even want to. I know you send me stuff. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't want to read it. I'm telling you the truth, Kim. I don't want to read it. Because I know it's a dark place. I am aware it's a dark place. I don't want to go in that dark place. But you're not wrong. I'll say the thing I say often, Kim. I wish you were wrong. But you're not. It's a terrible place. You are correct. Yes. So, any case, let me keep going down this road if I can. All righty. Roger says, Larry, a much more accurate jobs report shouldn't be unemployment rate or how many jobs were added, but a mechanism measuring whether or not income inequality has narrowed, widened to the same monthly. There is one. It's called the Gini report. Gini. And it comes out every quarter of a year? It exists. It's already there. Gini. Gini? Hold on. I think that's right. Or the Gini coefficient or the Gini something. Is it Gini coefficient? Is that what it is? Yes, that's what it's called. The Gini coefficient. That's what it's called. Gini. Yeah, the Gini coefficient measures the inequality. Gini coefficient, also known as the Gini index. There we go. Or Gini ratio is a measure of statistical dispersion intended to represent the income inequality, the wealth inequality, and or the consumption inequality within a nation or a social group. So yeah, it already exists. New York State has the worst. We're number one. We have the worst. So yeah, so it does exist. I agree. I think income inequality is a big deal. I completely agree. It's a terrible thing. Income inequality is what makes people unhappy. Income inequality is what makes people get mad, do bad things. Totally correct. I'm with you completely. And I think that would be more important. I agree. It would be more important. And also something else. You should also check if people are happy. There are happiness indexes too, right? Happiness would matter. We are not a happy country. I've been saying it again for years. We're not happy, and income inequality, wealth inequality is widening. These are two very bad things. The economy is not good. You're right, Roger. I agree with you. You are right. So, Lunatic says 560,000 trade jobs. Yes. And they're not being filled. Yes. The amount of people who I meet when I cross the state and I meet people who are in the trades who say, I would hire tomorrow. There's nobody who takes this job. They won't do it. And I told you this before. If you're a young man, you almost have to be a man because of the physical things in this piece. If you're a young, I mean, I guess some women could do it if you're a strong, very strong woman, but most women aren't that strong. If you're a strong young man, say 18, 19, if I had to give you some advice, you don't know what you want to do. If you don't want to join the military, I'm not against, don't join the military if you don't want to. Here's what I would say. Move to a rural area and take a job in a slaughterhouse. I'm not joking. Take a job in a place like that. Some tough job, plumbing, oil rigs, shit like that. Do something like that for like 3 years. You're strong, you're young, you're not going to college. Look, unless you are super hot, you're not getting a girlfriend. I don't mean to be cruel, but you don't have any money. And if you're a super hot looking stud, you get a girlfriend. If you're not getting a girlfriend because you don't have any money. You don't have a job. Go make some money and just work. That will be my advice. Just go work. Work for like 5 years, 3 years. Just work. Don't party. Don't date. Work. Put money away. Put a lot of it away. And then decide, what do you want to do? Have you learned something that says, you know what? I think I want to go to college and become a so-and-so because I've worked for 3 to 5 years. I understand the business world. I know what I want to do, what I don't want to do. Great. You now have enough money to just pay for college. If you need to go to college for this, you don't have to go to debt. You've saved your money. Just go to college if you want to. No, college is not for me. I like what I'm doing. Stay and keep doing it. Awesome. Now you can buy a car or buy a house or put some money away or invest or whatever because you put some cash away. Or you go, you know what? No, I'm going to start my own business. Well, you can because you put some cash away and you can go do that. And now you figure some stuff out, whether you're going to go to college or not, whether you're going to start a business or not, whether you're going to work or not. Now you're 5 years older, smarter, hopefully still work with your body and hands so you're still in good physical shape. Now the ladies will be all over you. Now the ladies will be all over you. That's the jobs. That's what, if I had a son, I don't have a son. If I had a son, I'd be telling him that right now. Why aren't you on an oil rig somewhere? But Dad, I went to college. For what? Because my friends are going to college. If my son ever said to me, I would say I failed. I'd be like, I'm a shitty dad. My daughters don't say stupid shit like that to me. They don't say that. Because my daughters don't ever say stupid shit like that to me. I've raised them effectively. I would never raise a boy that way. I didn't raise girls that way, wouldn't raise a boy that way. He'd be like, I'm going to go, whatever. I'm going to go be a cattle hand. What, is that a thing? Whatever. Any of those things. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. So Phil says the higher skill / paid jobs are going overseas. Most added jobs will be lower paid jobs. Not true. Most lower paid jobs in administration, not when it comes to trades. That's the exception. You're right. To be forward, right? This is the problem. Why would I pay you a lot of money to do an admin job unless you have some special knowledge or special skill set? Now, that special knowledge or skills that might be within an industry, that will be important. I'd pay for that, right? You know this industry very well, yes. Or can you use AI very effectively? And I'm telling you, the best type of jobs like that, you can see it already is going to be happening. Is going to be people having multiple clients, small businesses, and using AI to support all their clients. You're going to watch it happen everywhere. So yeah. Yep. All right. Joel says, I think it's more ineptitude than purposely skewing numbers. What I would say to this, Joel, is they're probably still following old protocols based upon old government rules, which are no longer valid. That would be my guess. I don't know that to be true, but if I had to guess, that's what I would guess. That's what I would think. That's what my head is. So yeah. Alan says, if she was fired in January, it would have joined the Trump and Doge are gutting the U.S. democracy and wearing it as a skin suit by replacing honest people with fascist lawless narrative. Well, yeah, but it was already there. So it wouldn't have made a difference. Nobody would have noticed, Alan. No one would have noticed. You're not wrong, but no one would have noticed. Yeah, that's it. She's part of that. We're on board. Wouldn't have changed anything. That would have been a better move. Fire her then, better move. Yeah, I completely agree. Guys, if you like what Alan's saying, do me a favor, click the like button. If you don't like what Alan said, click the like button. If you like me, click the like button. If you don't like me, click the like button. I don't really care why. Leave my India Killer Echo. Speaking of Doge, Alan, thank you for giving me that awesome segue. There is something here that I want to bring up here, if I could. And that is, as I talk often about the advocates, and I'm going to talk again about the advocates. They have a very special single issue survey, which Alan hooked me up with. It's called the Doge Single Issue Survey. Yes. So do me a favor, if you would. Head on over to the advocates. The link is in the description, both on Facebook and also on YouTube and on Rumble. Head over there, click that specific link so they know that it's me. Click that link, head on over there, take the Doge Single Issue Survey. Take that survey. It's a couple minutes. It's a couple of minutes, and it's free. It's free. I'm not even asking for any money. Civil, I'm hitting you up for $25, right? Here, I'm hitting you up for nothing. Zip, zero. Just head on over there, take the survey. Here's one of the questions. I think one's coming up right now. And boy, is my internet slow today. Oh, there we go. All right, now we're good. All right. What is your view on placing a tech billionaire like Elon Musk in charge of government reform efforts and select the one that's closest to you? It brings much needed business expertise and efficiency to bloated government bureaucracy that career politicians and civil service cannot provide. Option one. Option two. It represents a dangerous conflict of interest that gives private business interests undue influence over public institutions and resources. Option three. The problem isn't who leads government reform, but the existence of a massive bureaucracy that should be drastically reduced regardless of who's in charge. Which one's closest to you? Click that and then move through. And when you're done with it, do me a favor, share it. Share it. Share it on YouTube. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it wherever you are. X. Share it. Once you're done sharing it, put the same link that you used in that same comment so that other people can go and they can take the survey. This starts conversations. What the advocates does better than, I can't think of any other place that does this type of thing, is it creates cool, interesting surveys that make you think and allow you to share them with other people so they can start thinking too. You start having those conversations. And it isn't just yes or no. If you notice, it's which is closer to what you think. You got to go, which one is closest to me? Because the odds are of those three, none of them are exactly what you think. Which one's closest? And what if you kind of think of two? Which one more? I love this piece. Guys, head over to the advocates, theadvocates.org. Click the link that's in the description. Please do so as soon as you can. Thank you. And then share, and share. Alrighty. Let's see. Roger says, I know, Ginny. I meant make that part of government jobs report. Oh, that's what you meant. Agreed again. Yes. Look, I think Ginny's more important. I agree with you. And it should be part of it. The problem is, this goes back to my other part, Roger. I think these guys, look, once you're in government, what happens is you can't move unless government tells you to. Remember, once you're in part of government, the goal isn't to be effective. The goal isn't to be correct. The goal isn't to provide value. None of those are the goal. The goal is very simple. Follow the rules. That's it. If you follow the rules, you win. That is how that's what go and buy the book. That's all they care about. Go by the book and you are by default correct. Well, if Ginny isn't in the book, it doesn't matter. If the world changes, government doesn't change. unless the book changes. So if you don't change the book, it doesn't matter what the world does. That's why government constantly fails. It cannot change as fast as the private sector can. The private sector can change whenever it wants. If it's private, I go, let's use Ginny tomorrow. Done. To change what the jobs report is, I mean, how many people got to say yes to that? 40, 50, 100? How many reports you got to have? 10? So you're right, but yeah. Lunatic says, master mobile diesel tech here. System designs are my skill set. No matter what system I diagnose, I literally problem solve for a living. Son, 14, DEC, apprentice under me. Teach next gen real skills. Yes, yes, and yes. 100% true. We should be doing this. I keep saying it. And if I had a son, I would be like, go off and be an apprentice someplace. Go. Why are you here? Go. Dad, I graduated high school. Congrats. Go. Go do something for 2-3 years. You're not going to get a girlfriend. Don't bother. Just go. Or start a business. But I'd rather you go work with somebody, figure out what life is like, and then decide if you want to start a business. Look, I like entrepreneurship, but not everybody should be one. Not mad if you don't want to be one. Be one if you want to. But you should go out and work and figure out if you want to be one or not. And also, if you want to be one now, you may not want to be one later, or the reverse. You may say, I'm not ready to be one now, but then later on in life, want to be one. They're all the right answer, as long as you're finding what makes you happy. That's all that matters. So I'm with you. I think the apprentice programs, they're trying to bring those back. I don't know if you've noticed, Lunatic. They are trying to bring them back. But the problem, as you keep hearing me say, our communities have lost the institutional knowledge to support themselves. The apprentice program concept is gone in most industries. They're just going, go to college or use a government program. So we're in a tough spot. I'm glad it's coming back, but it's not 5 minutes. It's years. It's years. So looking over at Instagram, Petron says, yep, we taught our children for too long to look down on trades and dirty jobs. Yep. We as society did a huge disservice. We did. We did a huge disservice to them and to us. And they wonder, why did we let 20 million immigrants in? That's the reason. That's the reason. I've been telling you this forever. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. And I know people say, we don't want him here. Okay, maybe you don't. But big business sure as hell does. And big business gets what big business wants. That's kind of how that works. I know that sucks. You don't like it. Still makes it true. That's all I'm saying. It's still true. So, yeah. Pedro goes on to say, speaking of income inequality, if we could shrink it, at what point do we say it's enough? We don't want everybody to have the same income. Yes, that's a good point. Generally speaking, Petron, the issue is twofold. One, we will judge ourselves, generally speaking, by other countries that are similar to us. That's usually how we judge ourselves. That's number one. Number two, the secondary aspect to the Gini coefficient, which is income inequality, is the secondary aspect, and that is social mobility index. We have to believe that even if I'm at the bottom, I have to believe I've got a real shot to get to the top. So it isn't only that. The Gini coefficient is great. I like it. It works. I would add on top of that the social mobility index. Do I have the opportunity to move? Right. And right now, America is not very good at that. European countries are actually better than we are at that. And that's the first time that since ever. We are stagnating when it comes to social mobility. The odds of you moving out of the social class that you were born in are lower than they've ever been in America. That's shameful. So how will we know that it's okay? You combine the Gini coefficient and combine the social mobility index, and then add one more piece, as I said, happiness index. If these are good enough, happiness explodes. If income inequality is, I don't have to know how much it is, to be clear with you, but I don't have to. Happiness indicator will tell me this. If Americans don't think it's too high, happiness will by default go up because we won't feel like we're being screwed, right? Americans do know some people are going to be richer than me. Some people are going to be poorer than me. We know that. We're not mad at that. We're not. As well, some people are. But Americans as a whole are not angry at that. We're angry at, why is he making gazillions and I can't pay my rent? That's what we're mad at. What? I can't get my car fixed, and this guy's buying his third yacht. That we are mad at. Now, if it's, look, I can get my car fixed, I can pay my rent. Maybe another year I'll buy a new car. I don't care if he buys a yacht. You see the difference? Not, I can't pay my bills. I can't fix my car. He's on his third yacht. I'm mad. He gets to buy a yacht, but I get to pay my rent, and I'm probably going to buy a new car next year. I'm good. That's most Americans. There will always be people who are pissed off. And the happiness in this will go up. Not just that. Do I believe that if I work hard or study hard or play by the rules or whatever is the word I'm looking for, that I will move up? Do I believe that? Most millennials and Gen Zs and Gen Alphas do not believe that. That's the problem. And then we get mad at them. Why they spend all their money on avocado toast? They're never going to buy a house. They're never going to own a car. What do they care? What do they care? So I think that's how you look at it. And I think the happiness index solves that problem. Those are the three things in my view that matter. All this GDP shit, irrelevant. All this jobs, irrelevant. That Roger's right. It's all bullshit. It doesn't matter. You add the three I just said, the Gini for inequality, the social mobility index, and the happiness index. That's all that matters. The rest is all garbage. Doesn't mean anything. It's nice. I guess it means something because you can see how it moves, but it's just how it moves. And you could also, I guess you could also, do it relative to others. I'm exaggerating. There's some value to it. There is. You can use it for other things. So yeah, but just not for the thing they're using it for. How about that? Maybe that's better. So, all right. We'll grab some more of these if I can. All right. So many of these. I appreciate it. All right. Joel says, keto news. My daughter made her first brisket in the pellet smoker. Came out amazing. Keto is magic. And it is an AMA. So every AMA, we have to bring up keto in some way. So yes, that's true. All righty. Americua says, historically, the rates are already low. True. Accurate. True. Yep. The rates are low already. Yeah. My parents got their house at like interest rate for like 12 or 13% interest rate. Yeah. Crazy. So Uncle Smitty's here. All government data is bogus. True. True. My VA lady says, I love entrepreneurship. Me too. I haven't had a job in about 20 years, 21 years. Yeah, 21 years. Yeah. Look at that. There we go. All right. Robert says, why wouldn't the jobs report be deplorable? Doge came in and did what Doge did. So should numbers be expected? Well, Doge only affected the government, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean the jobs reports will be bad. Theoretically, Robert, now not obviously, but theoretically, what could have happened and what everyone would have hoped to have happened is as Doge cuts up government, the private sector picks up those jobs. So in theory, that could have happened. Clearly it didn't, but that could have happened. It's not automatic. Just because government cuts jobs doesn't mean the jobs report is deplorable. The private sector could have picked them up. And in other cases, it has. And the example I'll give you is Argentina. In Argentina, that's true. The government has slashed jobs. Now, the private sector hasn't picked it all up, but it has picked up a whole lot. The private sector has picked up a lot of jobs in Argentina. So that absolutely can happen. So just to be clear, it's not automatic. So I hope that makes sense. All righty. Joel says, I got a lot of liberal hate commenting that slow jobs growth is still jobs growth. What? I got a lot of liberal hate commenting that slow job growth is still jobs growth. Well, yes, they're not wrong. It is. But it's still, you have to have a huge chunk of that to move the economy forward. So, yes. All righty. Lunatic says, but Larry, we haven't filled already created positions for the skilled trades. Yeah, you're right. Creating BS jobs versus tangible skilled trade. Well, here's the issue, right? Here's the issue, Lunatic. People will say all the time, government doesn't create jobs. That's not true. Government creates tons of jobs all the time, does it constantly. And if you're getting a government check, then that's paying your bills, then that's a job. So yes, but I have to always do with a but here. What you're saying is true. We should be filling better jobs. But if you're one of those BS jobs and it's paying your bills, it's not a BS job to you, right? I may be unhappy with, you being some inspector for the government that finds me, I'm not going to like that job that you have, but that job might be the job that's paying your rent or paying your car note or paying your health insurance. So I got to be honest on that. I want you to be paying your stuff. Now, what do I want to do? As I just talked about Robert, as we cut government jobs, I hope people move into these jobs. The problem is, and I keep saying this, 7 million young men have, not young, between 24 and 50, no, 25, 54, have checked out. Those men should be filling them jobs, lunatic. And they're not. Who's going to fill them? Migrants. They're going to fill them. That's going to happen. You're going to see it. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the jobs, when that job is a job that's paying your bills, it's not a BS job. It's not a BS job when it's paying your bills. To go facts, thank you for the $5. It's possible that today's generations don't have the drive to be better. Like the old Latin proverb, fortune favors the bold. An alien thought today. Yes, I think you're right. And remember, why do people move forward? Hope. When you have hope of a better future, you move forward. When you don't move forward. That's the issue. And I think a lot of people, particularly millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they don't have hope. Why would you move forward? Not just, here's the worst part. What happens when everyone around you tells you you're crazy? What happens when everyone around you tells you don't do that? I see it everywhere. People are very much affected by their environment. So now, again, I was joking, but I wasn't joking when I said my daughters would never say something like, well, my friends, yeah, but they're the weird ones. Most people go, I won't do that. My friends. What? Well, my friends are all going to college. Okay. Why are you going to college? Because my friends. That's many people. So you're not wrong. Again, it's just challenging when people around you are going, don't do that. Think about this. When you are raised in an environment that says, you are amazing, Duke, because you're born. You're amazing because you're born. Did you do anything? No, you were born. You're amazing. The word you'll hear so much, and this is much more out of the left than the right. The right does it too, but not as much. Heavily from the left is the word deserve. One of the worst words in the English language. I'm not joking when I say it. It's a terrible word. Why? Because it literally says entitled. This is the health care you deserve. Why? Well, you deserve it. Why? Because it makes you feel entitled. So buy my stuff. Okay, now you're being honest. Yes. This is the laws you deserve. Why? You see it in dating. Don't date her. You deserve better. Don't date him. You deserve better. Why? Because you were born. Don't do that job. You deserve better. Why? Because you were born. You need to get more money. Why? You deserve more. Why? Because I have a college degree. Did you do anything better? No. So why would you need to be bold when you deserve better? Duke, don't be bold. You deserve better. That's it. So, yes. All righty. Patty says, a country full of undereducated, sick people. Wow, that's making America great again. A kick in the ass to Kennedy. Yeah. So, Patty. Okay, let me keep going. All right. Let's see here. That one YouTube short, Facebook reel is up asking how long would Larry last as Trump's communication director? Yeah, not long at all. Not long at all. Because the first thing I do is grab his phone. You don't send anything until I see it. That's it. I gotta see what your text. I gotta see what you're truthing or whatever the thing is. I gotta see what you're doing. Yeah. All right. Let's hear. Okay. I'm looking now at the poll. What was the biggest news of late? The most impactful to you? Sydney Sweeney's jeans. That was a good one. U.S. tariff with EU. Good one. Peace deal for the Thailand, Cambodia. No one cared about that. But yeah, no one really cared about that. Trump firing labor secretary, labor stats worker. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, any of those are whatever is appropriate. But yeah, I did a show on the Sydney Sweeney thing, and now on the Trump one. The peace deal with Thailand and Cambodia, it's, look, ending a war is good, but hardly anyone knew there was even a war. So, and a tariff deal with EU sounds good, but we're not sure. The Germans aren't so happy with it. Make sure the Germans are on board with it. We'll see. So, yeah, that's where my head is on those, just so I can grab those also while I'm here. All righty. Let's see here. Mike says, you are assuming the worst because it's easy and media has made that the default thought towards Trump admin. Review of economic numbers are wealth and expectations, at least what I predicted. Yeah, but no one cares what you predicted. That doesn't mean anything. I'm not mad at you, Mike. I'm not saying you're wrong, but if I got to pay my bills or I got laid off, I'm not going, well, it's fine because Mike predicted me getting laid off. Doesn't mean anything. I can't pay my rent this month. That's fine because Mike predicted I couldn't pay my rent this month. Doesn't matter. People are getting laid off in droves. People are underemployed. There's no tomorrow. That's true. That's absolutely true. So, yeah. Genshin says, unpopular opinion, for job security purposes, he who shall not be named is dabbling with pity squabbles. I have no patience for it anymore. For job security purposes, he who shall not be named is dabbling with pity squabbles. I have no patience for it anymore. Not sure what that means. You're going to have to be clear with me. I guess that was some kind of code. I didn't get it. Sorry. Shelley says, no matter who's in office, we hope for good leadership. Yes, but we're New Yorkers, so we've been let down a lot. True. Absolutely true. Yes. Absolutely true. 100%. I wish that wasn't true. So, all righty. Rick says, no matter who's in office, it's always evil of two lessers. Well, yeah. Yes. Yes. All righty. Patty says, how many have been fired by the administration? That adds to the unemployment rate he created, right? Yes, it does, but that's not the biggest piece. Yes, but it isn't the biggest piece. That relatively is low compared to others. But yes, it is a piece. Yes. Genshin says, define accurate is my question. To be honest, Larry, I stopped following this clown show we have as a government for 2 weeks now, and my mental health is even better. Yeah, I know I should do it. That's why Kim's been sending me some things about the e-files. I've been trying to be like I look and go, I need some mental health too. I hope Kim's okay. Kim might be having some issues right now going down the rabbit hole. She might be this looking into the abyss, Kim. Just saying. Yes. But yeah, I'm with you. And accurate, as I said, it's accurate relatively as long as it's being done the same way. While the number may not be correct, the trend is still a real trend either way. Again, as long as it's compiled the same way, the trend is still accurate. So that's something. But I tell you what I think it should be. Wealth inequality, happiness, and social mobility. Those are the three things that make Americans happy. The rest doesn't mean anything to me. It's nice, but who cares? John says, the quick firing with no investigation kind of concerns me. Yes. Thank you, John. That's the problem. In the corporate world, you would have to document and prove she was incompetent or operate with malice. And my point is, I'm assuming that both Mike and Russ are correct, that she is incompetent. Then it shouldn't be hard. This should be a simple thing to do, right? Put it together and then done. Yes, this should not be a hard thing. That's all I'm saying. You're right, and that shouldn't be hard. Patty says, our economy should be judged by how the bottom 30% is doing, not the top 70%. I see where you're going with that. You're saying that it's judged by the floor, not by the ceiling. But aren't they all important? Right? Doesn't it? Let me give you pushback on this, Patty. Shouldn't this is why I go back to wealth inequality, right? If this is happening, isn't that good? Whether that's happening this way or this way should also matter. I agree, right? I hope this is happening versus this, right? I hope we're all the boats are rising. I hope. But if wealth inequality is coming down, if the wealthy get wealthier, then by default everyone goes back up. right? So I think it all matters, right? I want it all to matter. I guess that's my point. And I also want us to be able to fall down and get back up. And I want people who happen to be born into a crappy situation to be able to get themselves and still become great as they want to be. I want that too. So I guess this is where my head is. So yeah. Robert says, don't forget those who've been so chronically unemployed, they stopped counting them. Also true. And that's a big issue. Again, I forgot what see if I can find it. It's the workforce participation rate. I think that's what it's called. It's like the lowest it's been since like forever. I don't remember what it is. All right. Yeah, 62% as of June. The workforce participation rate is 62%. That is terrible. That is terrible. Yes. And if I see that is the lowest since Jesus Christ, the 70s. Since the 70s. Yeah. The only time it was lower, if you don't count the 70s, is literally in the middle of the lockdowns. Middle of lockdowns. It is that, and what happened then? Women joined the workforce. So our participation rate right now, to your exact point, Robert, is so low that it's like women aren't in the workforce anymore. It's like that. Yes. Yeah, women started joining the workforce in the 70s. Well, I should say in mass, right? Not counting World War II, obviously. A lot of women joined the workforce during World War II. Prior to that, women did not join the workforce in mass until the 60s and 70s, heavily in the 70s. So yeah, I think that if I'm looking at this number right, it's the lowest since 1975, I think, if this number is correct. Yeah, it's not good. That's not good. There we go. So your point is valid, and there it is right there. Yeah, there it is. It is not, we're not in a good spot, that's for sure. So let me grab some more. And by the way, guys, if you want your spot to go to the front, you can go to the front by easily super chatting me. You can super chat me on YouTube, or you can rant me on Rumble. Either one, whatever makes the most sense for you. Both of them work. Appreciate that. Every little bit counts if you can do that. You also can become a member if you want to. I'd like you guys to become members. Members, $49 per month. Click that join button. $5 per month. What does that do? It allows you to do a couple things. Number one, support the show directly, which is what I want you to do, support the show directly. It means I can work less and do more of this. That's what I want to do. It means I have more people working here to get things done. All those clips you see me put up, I'm not putting them up. It's the team putting them up. They need to be compensated also. That also helps. So every little bit you can do helps everybody out to get more work done to the best of your ability. So $49 per month, click that join button so we can keep this moving to the best of our ability. It does matter, either here on YouTube or on Rumble, either one. And I have one more piece if I could. It allows you to send me stuff that I will look at, which I've been looking at Kim's stuff begrudgingly, but I have. So yeah, she's a member. So I do that also, and I might do reaction to it or use it as part of my ideas. And lastly, when we do our members only show, which I will do one this month, you can come on and be with me, talk about stuff here on the show itself. So membership does have value. Guys, join up if you can. Click that join button on YouTube, $49 per month. I appreciate it. Speaking of that, over on Rumble, thank you for the rant, JJ. Bitcoin hit $112,000 today. Might be an opportunity to buy a dip. There we go, guys. If you're looking to pick some of that, please pick it up. That'd be awesome. I like Bitcoin. I own Bitcoin. Just so you know, full disclosure. I do own Bitcoin. I do like Bitcoin. So, all right. All righty. Little Lady says, Larry, did you watch that crazy South Park episode of Trump yet? I did. I am a South Park fan, and they are, by the way, libertarians. That's true. They are. Both of them are self-proclaimed libertarians, the guys who started it. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they are both libertarians. And yes, I did. And boy, did they tear Trump up badly. They ripped him up. People are mad. I'm not mad. Look, to be forward, they rip everybody up. That's what they do better than anybody. So I'm happy they rip everybody up. I don't care at all. It's fine. I don't mind at all. Let them rip them up. Attack them all. All good. So yes, and it was funny. All righty. Pneumatic Cole says, Hey Larry Sharpe, what do you think of the coming AI takeover? It is happening already. I already said it. The reality of this is not going anywhere. I don't know if maybe I said it earlier, too early. There is AI is a weapon system. So we're not going to regulate it. It is just going to go off and become great to the best of its ability. It's what's going to happen. Whether we like it or not, that's going to happen. And so we should accept it. AI is the future. So with that, you should be working on AI now. There's no way around it. The reason why you want to become an AI pro is several-fold. Number one, the more you are better using being with AI, the better chances you'll get a good job if you want a good job. Second, you'll be able to defend yourself against it when it comes against you in any way, shape, or form, whether that's by other people or on its own, whatever. Third, you will be able to recognize it. So yeah, AI is everything. If you're not using AI, assuming you want to be in the workforce, you are harming yourself. If you're in school right now, you have kids in school, and any of your teachers are dumb enough, and many of them are, to go, don't use AI, ignore them, use AI. My kid will get expelled. Doesn't matter, nobody cares. Doesn't matter, nobody cares. Most school systems are utterly useless anyway and mean nothing. And I tell a story, it's a true story. My oldest and my youngest daughter, my oldest daughter, this is years ago, when she was in junior high school, one of the two. She's in school and she's getting bullied by some kid. And the rules were, don't bully. You can't bully back. You have to tell teacher. I taught my daughters, no. Someone bullies you, bully them right back. Hammer them right back. She did. She bullied him back so bad, he went and told his mom. So he was getting bullied. So they call me in and they tell me, they sit me down, and the vice principal says, Mr. Sharpe, you're usually for what your daughter did, we would suspend her. I said, okay, hold on, I'm going to be sure. The kid who bullied her, he's a known bullier, right? Yes, he's been suspended before. Oh, so the kid who was bullying her has already been suspended for bullying. Yes, that's true. Yes. So he bullied her. Yeah, he did. Yeah. And so he bullied back. Yeah, she can't do that. She can't bully back. She has to tell a teacher she can't bully back. I said, oh, that's your rule? Yeah. I said, okay, suspend her for the whole week. He said, what? I said, the whole week. Do the whole week. I'll keep her home. I'll have a great time. I'll reward her. We'll go out. He said, what? I said, yeah, we'll do it. He said, Mr. Sharpe, it'll be on a permanent record. I said, nobody cares. Nobody cares. He said, we're not going to suspend her. True story. Because nobody cares. Because nobody cares. Your permanent record means nothing. Nobody cares. This is shit that used to control you. Nobody cares. So if they threaten to expel your kid, nobody cares. Teach your kid AI. Teach your kid AI. My youngest daughter, you can't use AI for this or that. I said, use it every single day. Every single time, no matter what. Do all your schoolwork with AI. She goes, what? I said, do all your schoolwork with AI. She does it all AI. I don't care. The school system's shit. The teachers don't know what they're talking about. The administrators don't know what they're talking about. The world is AI. That's what it is. Over half of the internet now is AI. Over half is AI. Half the phone calls you get are AI. Half the emails you get are AI. The world's AI. Just because these idiots who are in the Stone Age that you shouldn't use it, don't screw your kids over. Have them use AI every time. We'll suspend you. Nobody cares. Your school system's useless. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's just stuff you choose to control people. That's why he didn't suspend her, because the goal wasn't suspension. The goal was compliance. And once I said, I'm not going to comply, I don't care, I'm not going to comply, he was like, oh, you're not going to comply? Well, then you can just go then. Yes. That's how my daughter graduated high school, by the way, also. My daughter graduated high school during COVID, the lockdowns. And I said, don't go to school. Why? They're going to graduate you anyway. They're going to graduate you. Why? Because I put her into college. So if she goes into college, she counts towards their placement numbers. And they're bureaucrats. All they care about is placement. That's what they care about, because that's how they get paid. They don't care if she gets educated. That doesn't matter. Remember, government doesn't care about outcomes. Outcomes are irrelevant. What matters is you follow the rules, you get paid. So that. So when it comes to AI, it's happening. If you want to fight it, go ahead. Useless. If you want to be mad at it, go ahead. Useless. If you want to try to make rules against it, you can try. Useless. Up to you. You do what you want. Embrace it. It's going to happen. Learn it. Be ready for it. It's like the car. It's going to happen. Just get used to it. That's all. So anyway, let me keep going. I hope I answered your question. I know some people don't like what I'm saying, but it's still how I feel. I say what I feel, even when people don't like it, just so you know that I'm being honest at least. So you know that at least. So yes. Joel says, I wonder how many people would vote for an AI candidate if that were an option in an election. That one day will be a type of option. I don't know when, but that will one day be some type of option. It will be. So yes, it will be eventually. DukeFX $5 says, if it's possible that today's generations don't have the drive to be better. Oh, put them on there. Sorry. Same one. Cage on $2. Outriding listening. $2 to say hi to everyone. Oh, thank you, Cage John. Thank you for $2. I appreciate that. So Cage John says, thanks, everybody. Thank you. Yep. There we go. Appreciate it. That's great. All righty. Grab some more of these. I got so many of these to go. Kim says, the Wednesday Civil Show was the best of Larry Sharpe. I hope to see you there this Wednesday. Oh, well, thank you for that. Yes. I do appreciate that. Ryan says, Larry, that's my attitude towards Governor Kehoe and the state legislature here in Missouri. I don't care. World's getting screwed. I don't care. That's me too. That's me too. I'm trying, but yeah, that's me true. Yes. Rob Reed says, is that bribery? Aren't the laws against that? Yes. However, here's the issue to remember. Laws only matter if they're enforced. You're not wrong, but laws only matter if they're enforced. And they're not. So, yeah. You're not wrong, Robert. I'm just saying it's how it works. William says, QE will definitely tank the economy. Yes. 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 John says, lesser rates, devalue dollar. But they don't care. Again, you guys aren't wrong, but they just don't care. Yes. They don't care. Yep. All righty. John says, banks are offering mortgage pre-approvals. Nowhere near buying an average home. Housing in Florida on the market for yet. Yeah, the housing market's already starting to crash. That's already happening. There's a slew of people who are saying, stop buying homes. Just rent. It's not worth it. I'm not joking. And that is a huge difference in the American dream, which goes back to my idea of, do people believe they can grow? There is a huge chunk of financial advisors, people who are both certified financial planner types and internet guru types, both types. And usually they're exactly the opposite in how they think. Usually. In this case, they're not. There's a chunk of both of them going, don't buy a house. It's not worth it. Just rent. Because the government is trashing interest rates. The government's trashing homeowners. You're going to see a massive home owner crash. Just rent. You're hearing a lot of people saying that. Now, I'm not giving you that advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not listen to me about financial advice. That's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you what I'm seeing on sides that usually are the opposite. Almost always, for the past, 50 years, more, 100 years, whatever this is, if you talk to a certified financial planner, they're going to tell you, if you can get a home reasonably, get one. They're going to tell you that. Not anymore. There are a huge number of people who are now saying it's 2008 right now. There's about to be a crash, and that Florida is the center of it, the center of the crash. And the South is going to get slaughtered. That is what people are saying now, because everyone ran to the South during the lockdowns because the South was open. So people ran to the South, and they got used to the South and moved. And now some of them are like, I don't like the South anymore because it was cool during the lockdowns. Now I want to come back. And then, of course, the economy's crashed. Why? People don't have jobs. If you don't have jobs, what do you have? Bad credit. That's what happens when you have a job. You have bad credit. So you have bad credit, so you can't buy a house. Yes. John, you're right. JJ over on Rumble, thank you for the $1. I'm trying to find a place to rent, but it's about $1,000 per month because we're in safe area in high demand. The GA city of the Georgia city, a big spring golf tournament. $1,000 per month for rent. You're talking to the New Yorker. It's rookie numbers, my friend. That's rookie numbers. You want to get a 1-bedroom in New York City? 1 bedroom. If you're lucky. If you're lucky, you're paying $2,000 a month. If you're lucky, that's like, boy, did I scam. $2,000 a month. I scammed. Woo! Look at me. Yeah, a 1-bedroom. Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else? Come on now. You want to get a 2-3 bedroom? 4-bedroom? You got a family? $4,000, $6,000, $5,000 a month. Yes, absolutely. 100%. So I would love to be able to get something for like $1,000 a month. Oh my God. I wouldn't. It'd be gone in 5 seconds. I would have to literally, as they said, yes, rush in and grab it. It'd be gone in 5 seconds. Yes. All righty. Let me walk down here. So many of these. I do appreciate all these guys. All right. Phil says, We have a socialist currency with the Federal Reserve. True. Absolutely. Patty says, I understand AI teachers, but not AI nurses. All right. How that works is now a doctor is able to see more patients without needing a nurse. One nurse can see more patients without needing multiple nurses. So if you needed 6 nurses, now you only need 3. If you needed 2 doctors, you only need 1. So the nurses don't go away. You just need less of them because AI can do things. For example, right now, if you have a problem in a hospital, say, you click the button and you hope the nurse comes by. That will go away. There'll be a screen. And AI will answer your question, do your thing, take the action, right? Without having to have a nurse come by. That's what I mean by that. The nurses don't go away. There's a whole lot less of them. Well, if I did need 6 nurses, now I need 3. Well, what nurses I'm going to get? I'm going to get at least 1. If it's me hiring, right, Patty, I'm going to get at least 1 very savvy, experienced nurse, at least 1. I'm going to pay her a lot because she's the one experienced, savvy nurse, and at least 1 of them, right? Then I'm going to grab 2 more nurses who I hope are pretty cheap. That's what I do as a business person, right? So probably 1 very senior, then 1 in the middle, and then 1 cheap. That's probably what I'm trying to do to the best of my ability and use AI to supplement all the rest. That's what will happen. Nurses will not go away. You just need less of them. Doctors too. That's why this is going to happen. Teachers aren't going to go away. You just need less of them. Where I used to need, again, 2 teachers, I need 1. Where I need 4 IEPs, I need 2. That's the difference. So I hope that makes sense. They're not going to go away, but since I need less of them, look, I'm thinking about it, Patty. If I only need 2 nurses, I want to get the one of them that at least has a whole lot of experience that can kind of supervise the entire thing. Well, then what about all the middle level nurses? I don't need them. And that may be cruel, but I'm just telling you how it actually works. I don't need them. I want the senior one who's got the most experience, who can control this whole thing, and then some younger worker nurses. So maybe the top nurse, she's great, and I got 2, 3 other dudes or chicks, whatever, for nurses who will help out the top nurse. And then maybe step in when I need be. Maybe middle ground, maybe 1, but a bunch I don't need. And then if I only need 1 nurse, why would I hire a new nurse out of school? And that's what's happening now. All the people now, the new graduates, they can't find jobs. Why would I hire them? Why would I hire? And I don't mean to be cruel. I'm telling you how business thinks. Business is apathetic. It's not mean or evil. It's apathetic. Why would I hire a new kid out of school with no experience who I'm going to see as being, because of who they are, I'm going to see them as being entitled, want stuff, whatever. I don't want that. I'd rather get someone who I know what they've already done before. And since I have less of them and there's less jobs, well, then I can pay less because now it's an employer's market, not an employee's market. So I can now pay less for better talent. Why wouldn't I as a business owner? I hope that makes sense. JJ, thank you for the $1, my friend, says the Fed is pulling the Bank of London Liz Truss maneuver on Trump. Game of chicken. This should put fuel in ending the Fed. Maybe. I don't know. Trump doesn't bend that much. We'll see. We'll see if he does. Maybe. So, all right. Let me grab some more of these. All right. So I appreciate all this back and forth. I really do. So Liberty Lady says teachers unions getting trashed. It better mean property taxes going down. I don't think so, but it would be nice. Yes. So Duke of Heck says, thoughts on Ayn Rand? Is there a difference between Rand's objectivism and libertarianism? Yes. Rand did not like libertarians at all. She did not like libertarians. Actually, she fought them often. The funny part is they overlap in many ways. Objectivism and libertarianism do overlap a lot. Objectivism, Ayn Rand was one of, if you go back, how to explain this? People who were the best recruiters to the Libertarian Party, libertarianism in general. You go back to the 60s and 70s, Ayn Rand was a huge recruiter. A lot of people read Atlas Shrugged, came to libertarianism because libertarianism was the closest thing to objectivism, that had any kind of political movement. So a lot of objectivists came to the Libertarian Party back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, more 70s and 80s because of Ayn Rand. Today, that's not true. Many came to us now because of Ron Paul, that he was a big mover. Also, Gary Johnson for popularity purposes. Harry Brown, big recruiter. Now people come because people like Dave Smith. They come to us now because that too also. So Scott Horton brings people also libertarianism. You see that anti-war side. So yeah, the difference between objectivism and libertarianism is in one critical aspect. Objectivists, there are many, but the critical one is selfishness. The idea that selfishness is by default a value. Objectivists will say that openly, believe that. Libertarians don't necessarily say that. They say it's all a choice. It's all a choice. So you can be selfish if you want to, but you don't have to be selfish. It's not required. Up to you. Objectivists are much more that selfishness itself is by itself. It is a virtue. Libertarians don't say that. So I think that's one of the biggest pieces. There are others, but I think that's the biggest piece. I'm not anti-objectivist, but I'm not an objectivist. I'm a libertarian. I'm not an objectivist. I don't think the same way. I also don't think that money is by default good. Objectivists do think that money is by default good. Libertarians don't think money by default is good. They like capitalism and they like the idea of private property, but they don't think money by default is good. Objectivists believe money by default is good and selfishness is a virtue. I hope that helps at least. Roger says, that's right. They hit your child. Tell them to hit back. Yes. Thank you. Yes. You bully my kid, you're getting bullied back. Yes, absolutely. And I don't care what school says. The school doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care what they think. I don't care what a principal, why do I care what a principal thinks? Permanent record. I don't give a shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Your permanent record is garbage. Nobody cares. I was like, you know what, Roger, I was going to hire you, but back in 8th grade, you got suspended. So I got to say no. No one says that. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody says that. People say, Larry, how'd you get your kid into college? I wrote a check. That's how. Wrote a check. That's how. Anyway, JJ over on Rumble says, Austin Peterson and Larry Sharpe exposed me to libertarianism. I'm just a broken glass populist. I'm glad. Austin's still my friend. He made me angry before, but it's fine. Still my friend. So yes, let me keep moving if I can. All righty. Phil says, don't care. I don't really care about income inequality as long as people's quality of life is getting higher. Yeah, but people do care. People judge themselves by their peer group. So even if I'm doing, relatively, our poor in America, relatively, are doing better than, say, the poor in, say, India or the poor in, say, sub-Saharan Africa. But we don't judge ourselves by that. And we shouldn't. We judge ourselves by our peer group. And that means that people do care about income inequality. So, yeah, that's what I think matters. So, yeah. All righty. Phil goes on to say, I heard there's a deficit of about 10,000 sailors in the merchant marine. Yeah. Yeah. Those are jobs that people want to do. It's hard. So, yes, it is hard. So, all righty. Let me try to keep going here if I can. All righty. Oh, you guys going back and forth. I appreciate that. Wow, a lot of stuff back and forth. I love that. There we go. Is there another poll up? All right, hold on. There's another poll up. You guys are putting polls on. Hold on. Is it poll? Let me see if there's a poll up. Hold on. Is there a poll up? Is there a poll up? Maybe there is. Am I missing the polls again? I got to keep checking the polls. You guys making me work for this now. Why are you making me work for this? But you are making me work for this. And hold on. No. What did I miss? Is there another one? I must have missed it. All right, there is another one. It's just me. All right, let me keep going. All righty. Let's see here. Patty says, we are 2 to 3 unfortunate events closer to homelessness than we are 2 to 3 good fortunes to being a millionaire. That is what we are mad at. Yes, thank you for that. Some people are one event closer. But yes, you are correct. Yes, absolutely. All righty. Let's see here. So many of these back and forth. All right, Ryan says, this video is liked and shared on X by me. Thank you, guys. Do that again. If you can, please, I know I bug you, click the like button. I know I ask you why. YouTube has changed its policies. Again, it needs people to interact. So please interact with this, right? Click the like button, put the comment, share this someplace. It does matter. Repost this on X. Please do so. If you want to follow me over on the other stuff, please follow me. If you follow me on YouTube, Please follow me on Sharpeway YouTube. Follow me on Rumble, on Larry Sharpe Rumble. Follow me on Instagram. All those things. It's good if you can. I appreciate it. Whatever you can follow me on, please do so. Every little click matters. And if you haven't subscribed, please head on over to Sharpeway, the Sharpeway YouTube page, and click subscribe. But Larry already subscribed. YouTube just decides you're a bot and unsubscribes you. I'm not joking, just does it. So click subscribe and make sure you click all notifications when you subscribe. Click subscribe and then click all notifications so you get a notification. That's what I want you to do. Please do it if you haven't. You have to interact with this. Otherwise, YouTube is not going to show me around. I need people to share this around. Black powder in the house. If you believe in government, that's your first problem. True. True. That is a problem. Yes. Roger says, I just want the media to focus on Ginny, not unemployment rate and jobs numbers. Yes, but I stand by what I said. I want all three. I think happiness matters, and I think social mobility also matters. I want all three. Yes. I'm over on Instagram, and Radical says, no reason for holding your kids back to the future for the sake of being shackled by the old ways. True. Yes, that's accurate. And I don't care what the system thinks. It's wrong anyway. So, yeah, there we go. Liberty says, I don't deserve shit. To be forward, Liberty, none of us do. And I say it all the time, none of us do. None of us. Life isn't fair. I never forget what my health teacher told me years ago when I was in high school, a couple years back. He said, when you were born, yes, he was a football coach also, of course the health teacher was, and he would yell at us. And he would say, when you were born and the doctor pulled you out of your mama and held you high and spanked your bottom, he said, who guaranteed you that life was going to be fair? He said, nobody. I never forgot that. He was right. I don't know if the doctor pulled me out of my mom and slapped my butt. I don't know if that happened. But at that point, no one guaranteed me that. He's not wrong. No one did. And no one ever has. So you're right. We don't deserve anything. We work for what we can. As I say all the time, life is two things, habits and odds. If you have better habits, you increase the odds of getting what you want. Doesn't mean if you have bad or good habits, you will get it. You may get it with bad habits. You may not get it with good habits. But the odds go up. Doesn't mean you're going to get it, but the odds increase. Better habits increase the odds of you getting what you want. That's life. So I would say have the best habits you can possibly have with whatever life you have, and it will increase the odds of you getting what you want, but you may not get any of it. That's all I'm saying, right? You might not get any of it. So yes, I hope that makes sense at least. Gene says, I remember when my sons were teenagers, they wanted to do something that their friend was doing. They told me that his mom let him. I told my sons that she is raising a pharmacist. I'm raising a future leader of the free world. That's why they didn't get to do everything their friends were doing. Gene, nicely done. Nicely done. Yes, absolutely. Mike says, I knew there was a war. I did too. I predicted it 2 months ago. I did not predict it. I wasn't paying enough attention. And the EU deal, like the UK deal, will be great for U.S. long term. Maybe. See, again, Mike, you do this often. You count chickens on Trump before they're hatched. I'm not saying you're wrong, but the Germans will decide if that EU deal is good or not. And they might. You could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but they haven't done that yet. The Germans have not decided that deal is good yet. The Germans agree, yes, you're correct. But I don't know. You're counting them chickens. They haven't hatched yet. So I knew there was a war going on too. I didn't predict that. I wasn't paying enough attention to predict it. I didn't know that. So good on you for predicting it. I did not predict that war. So any case. All right. Let me keep going here. Kim says civil is $2.09 a month. Worth every penny. You won't be sorry, I promise. A lot of you guys have done it and you really like it. I'm glad. I think civil's worth it. Look, could I be hawking gold? Yeah. Could I be hawking cryptocurrency? Sure, I could be. I've chosen to not hawk those two things. I've chosen to hawk civil. Why? I believe in it. I'm on it. That's why, right? If I ever do hawk gold, it'll be because I'm buying it. I'm not buying it, so I'm not going to be hawking it. If I ever do hawk some cryptocurrency, it'll be because I'm investing in it, right? So if I ever do that, it will be because I'm investing in it. I'm not investing in the things that people have. I get offers for stuff like that. But since I'm not doing it, I'm not prepared to tell you to do it, right? But I'm literally on Civil every week. I'm a member. I watch Civil. So I hawk it to you. Yes, I'm fine with it. I work with the advocates. I use their test, the world's most political quiz when I go out and table for libertarians. I use it physically myself. I believe in it. So I'm going to hawk it. Yes. So I'm glad Kim enjoys it. I'm glad you do because, yeah, I'm not going to hawk unless I enjoy it. Unless I'm actually using it. That's why I'm pushing it. I push it because I believe in it. So, yes, that's why I'm not doing that, That's why I'm not doing the gold thing. I could definitely do it. But, yeah. All right, let me keep going. All right. Let me grab some of these. Kim goes on to say, yes, Larry, I'm mentally in turmoil over the e-files, seeing where it came from and all. It's bottom. I know. I've read some of the stuff. Oh, checks out some of the stuff. I've watched some of the stuff you sent me, and it's, yeah. I'm like, do we have to keep going? Do we have to be going? Yeah. Grace says, I was hired as a hatchet man for a major Fortune 500 corporation. I was good because I documented. Documenting incompetence isn't that hard. Yes, you could do it. I agree. Yes. Dave says, Larry, just shoot the messenger that brings bad news. Then maybe the bad news will stop. Sadly, you're right, Dave. That is my problem. That's literally my problem. Yes. I don't want the bad news to stop. I want the honest news to keep coming, and sometimes that will be bad. Yes. If there's no bad news, that means we're like, yes, Dave, you're right. Sadly, that's accurate. I wish you were wrong. Yes. There we go. So, labor force participation rate. There we go. Mike says, no, workforce is now 59%, and Biden had lower. Yeah, lower was only during the lockdowns. So that part is unfair for Biden. That was lockdowns, which Trump was fine with lockdowns too, and so was Biden. So they're both fine with lockdowns. That part is unfair. But the last I checked, though, workforce, I'm looking now, as of June 25, workforce is 62%. Is that are you saying that's inaccurate in some way? Did they screw that one up too? I mean, you were right last time. Maybe that's also wrong. So as I look here, working population refers to age 15 through 64. Yeah. I don't know where you got the number from, Mike. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know where you got it from. The numbers that I'm seeing as I look through different pieces, they all say the same thing. They're all saying 62% as of June. And yes, it was lower during Biden, but only because of lockdowns. And that part is okay. The lockdowns was his fault too, just like it was Trump's fault. Their fault for lockdowns. But it is unfair to judge that piece for Biden because of lockdowns. That part's unfair. So, and to be forward, the workforce participation rate is not because of Trump. It's AI. I don't blame Trump or Biden. I know you always want to hammer Biden compared to Trump. I know you always want to. But in this case, I don't blame either of them for that. Or I blame both of them for lockdowns because they both were part of the lockdown regime. So I blame both for lockdowns. And I blame neither for this one because this one really is because of AI more than anything else. And just society destroying men, which again was both of them. So, yeah. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Grace says, Gen X dropped out 35 years ago. The young generation seems to be following a lead. Really? I don't think that's true. How many do the NEET men account for? About 7 million, Kim. It's about 7 million. Yeah. Gene says, I have found that being underemployed is worse than being unemployed. There's a part to that, which is why people do say that they would rather not have a job. There's a part to that, Gene. Now, I think if your mindset is correct, being underemployed is better, but it's mindset. And let me explain my difference between the two. If you take your underemployed job and say to yourself, God damn it, why am I here? Look at how I failed. Look at how bad things are. I'm better than this. I went to college. I used to. I did. then yeah, you are destroyed. It is harmful. It's not good. It will break your psyche. And sadly, you're right, most people go down that road. And I get it. This is going to affect women more than men coming up here because men just walked away. Women aren't walking away. They're still trying to get employed, right? Men have already walked away. They're like, I'm not working. I don't care. They're done. Women are still trying. And that trying is crushing them. Men just already gave up already. They're no longer being crushed, to your point, because they've given up. Women are still trying. I see it everywhere. They're still trying to get these jobs. So here's the problem. I was getting a job and getting paid $100,000 a year, right? And a lot of that was because, again, not a woman's fault, but because of DEI policies in certain industries, they kept poaching women from one job to another. So the woman believed that she was so valuable. She was, but for quota purposes, not for skill set. Her skill set is the same as a guy. So now they've been poaching these women for days, and she's every 2 years she's swapping jobs, getting a raise. So now she's getting $100,000 a year, where the guy who's just as good as her is getting $80,000 a year. Well, who am I going to fire? Her. I got the same quality, and he's $20,000 cheaper. I'm gonna fire her. So now she says, "But I'm worth $100,000." With DEI policies, you were. Otherwise, you're worth the same as the guy, $8,000. Well, now, do you want to take a job for $80,000? No, I was making 100. My lifestyle's 100. I don't make 80. Well, you got to take 80 now. Oh, here comes AI. Well, now everyone's price goes down because now they're not going to give the other guy a raise. Because why would they? They just fire one guy and then keep the other one guy at 80K, or they'll fire him and keep the other guy. They don't care. So now I can't even get a raise. So now she's underemployed. Now she got to work wherever she's got to work. She doesn't like that. She feels terrible. She feels terrible. So you're right. But the other way of looking at it is, I'm going to take this underemployed job so I can make a stepping stone. Because for most people know this, and it makes no sense, but it's absolutely true. It's easier to get a job when you have a job. And for those of you who've been in the job hunt, you know what I mean. When you don't have a job, it's harder. And people go, wait a minute, that's what I need, a job. And again, as I keep saying, companies are apathetic. They don't care. You need a job? So they don't care. Doesn't matter. But I need a job. I got to pay my bills. They don't care. That's my point. They don't care. So why aren't you working? Something's wrong with you. This other person's working. They're clearly valuable. And that is terrible and feels terrible and is true. So you're right, Gene, and you should push through and still be underemployed because it is easier to get a job when you have a job, assuming you want a job, obviously. If you're a neat person, you don't care. But assuming you want a job, have a job, easier to get a job because you have one. And I know it doesn't make any sense, but yeah. It also makes you less desperate, which makes you better in interviewing. You'll be a better interviewer. So yes. All right. Let's see. Mike has bad news. I wonder if the self-implement rate is higher. It is. It is. Yes. Absolutely it is. Yes. All righty. Let me keep going down this road. Okay. Grace says, like, comment, and share. Yes, she's correct. Please do that. That would be amazing. Absolutely. The engine says, the housing prices are ridiculous, to be honest. $600K minimum for a decent house in a good neighborhood. 100% yes. Yep. Kim says, $1,500 in St. Louis, small bedroom apartment. Yeah. Yes. Michael said, come to Ohio. Yes. Michael says, nursing is becoming on demand. Traveling nurses are growing. They go to where the demand is. Use them with contract. As another, yes. Nursing also is happening. Yes. Traveling nurses are becoming more important. I agree. You see it everywhere. Nurses who will be a part of transport also, not just traveling, but also part of transport, also a big deal. Yes. But the idea of just being a nurse in a facility, there's going to become less of those. There's going to be less demand for that. That's going to become a thing. Less demand for those. Now, will there be those who will like fill the gap? That's what you mean probably also, right? Okay, now I require a nurse here for 3 months while I update, change, and shift. I think that will happen too. So yes. Yep. Let's see here. Kim says, half the nurses, they will triple the price of the services. I'm not sure they can do it though, Kim. Depends on the demand. Depends on the demand, right? If the nurses are cut in half, do those other nurses try to stay in nursing, or do they change or quit or do something like that? That's the issue. If the nurses all want to stay in, the price won't triple because there'll be 20 nurses. They'll take what they can get. It depends what happens there. Yes. So there we go. Let's see here. Mike says, before I lost my house, mortgage was $600 a month. Oh man, that's nice. Rate was fixed, but not in a major city. So little resale value. 2,005 square feet. You can't find that anymore. Yeah, true. I wish $600, man. Man, I wish. Yes, man, I wish. Yes. I so wish. All righty. Keep going here. Where am I? Okay, I think I grabbed that here. Good. Okay. Grab that if I can. Oh, got so many of these. I love that. You guys keep going. All right. Mike says liar's an hour behind the chat. I think I am. I'm trying to catch up. Guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. Yes. I'm trying to catch up. All right. Missy says, my favorite therapist told me life is not fair. I argued with him for 2 sessions before I finally got it. Yes. Absolutely. Joel says, if you are odd, you have strange habits. Hold on. If you are odd, you have strange habits. Yes, I think that's sometimes true. But remember, if you do what everyone does, you will be like everyone else. Most people are unhappy. So, yeah. Anyway, John says, my eldest daughter, after receiving her first car, my former older car, pointed out her friend was getting a new Mustang as her first car. I said, are they adopting? Then left the room. There we go. Not bad. So, yes. Gene said, when my eldest son was little and he was watching Timmy and Lassie, I remember that. Timmy said that something wasn't fair. My son said, life isn't fair. True. Yes. Kim says, I'm hawking it so you don't have to. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. Mike says, BLS table A of most. Okay, so BLS directly says that. Now, is that modified? Either way, still, it's bad either way. It's worse now. I wish you were wrong, Mike, because it's worse now. Under 60% participation rate is terrible. It is terrible. Yes. Ganjan says, Larry is right. Companies will go after the ones that have the highest salaries when it's layoff time. Yes. It happened to my friend last year. Good thing he learned how to stock trade, so he's good. Yes. Absolutely. Michael says, AI, UBI, AIO. Yes. If we don't have an answer, Michael, if we don't come up with one, UBI is coming. And I'm not happy about that. But yes, I think you're correct. If we don't do something, that's going to happen. I'm hoping, yes. I'm hoping that's not true. But yeah. Okay. All right. Gene says, my mortgage payment is less than rent in my area. I like that. I do like that. Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate that. Guys, I'm going to ask you one more time if I could. All right. Literally to ask, so you're going to have a radio show this Monday right at 1 p.m.? Yes, this Monday. My radio show, live radio show is coming back 1 p.m. Eastern this Monday. I will also have a show Monday evening at 7 p.m. So I will be back on Monday. I will not be on tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm taking a day off. I will not be on tomorrow. I have a whole lot of admin I've got to catch up on. I'm so insanely behind on admin. I have so much I have to take care of. I'm going to try to catch up on some things. I'm so damn behind. Guys, I keep asking, please interact with this if you would. I know I keep telling you that YouTube's changed their policies. If you haven't liked, please do so. Please, if you haven't done reposted, please do so. If you want to become a member, I love that. Become a member. That's always good. But no matter what, interact with this. It does matter. After the live, please comment after the live is over. Again, after it's over, I still need comments afterwards. I know YouTube is making this as hard as possible. They just keep going. It's insane. I know. It's just how it works. So anyway, please let me know. The question I'm asking you is, what do you think about the economy? Is the economy good? Is it not good? Is it mediocre? What's your view on the economy? Please put that in the comments after the live. And remember, if you watch this later on, it's not live, you're going to see 2 videos pop up right here. Please watch one of them right away for about 8 to 10 minutes. YouTube algorithm loves that. Please do that. I will see you all very soon.